Hey, everybody, and welcome to Many Face Plays. Oh, sorry, I just
Oh.
got myself back in my ear. Hi, everybody. Tech Gremlins are getting us right away. Here at Many Face Plays, we are a bunch of immersive roleplay enthusiasts who've come together to play and tell a story. Today, we are playing and telling a story for a great cause. We're working with Just the Human. Hey, Just the Human, and Charity RPGs to benefit as Streamers Without Borders, benefiting Doctors Without Borders. Hi, Doctors Without Borders, with a focus on Palestinian aid. So you'll see somewhere around where you're watching this right now a Tiltify link. You're also going to see a QR code on the screen with us that you're able to use to be able to access that link easily. Please go ahead and go to that Tiltify link if you can afford to donate anything. Anything that you donate is going to work toward goals that we've set up outside of the donation incentives that are there. There are also specific donation incentives that are going to impact the game. There's explanations on every donation incentive from $5 to $50 in the Tiltify itself. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask in the chat. We're going to be monitoring that. We're going to be able to stop down and answer any questions you have. We also already have raised $75 of our $100 goal today before we even started. Thank you very much for that. There are two incentives in play across those $75 of donation. Thank you, Anonymous, and thank you, Rocat, for this donation collectively. You are going to have as players here, high players who are about to introduce yourselves, what we refer to as static interference, which in this game is tantamount to advantage or disadvantage. We're going to explain to everybody what that means as we go through rolls. This is a 2d6 dice system. And then there are also 5 opportunities that have been paid for in here for the algorithm to engage in what is called a struggle in this game by changing where either I, as the GM, or the authority, using the parlance of this game, place one of my tokens, or where the youthful offenders, YOs, that is what we call player characters here, put their tokens. We're going to talk you through what that means and talk ourselves through what that means as we go, because as we've been doing with all of the stuff that we are running this month to benefit Doctors Without Borders with a focus on Palestinian aid, we are playing this game for the first time. That's right. Everybody on camera here, myself included, has never played Misspent Youth before. I have wanted to play it for a long time. We've been prepping this for a while. Everybody's really excited. And we like to model playing different games together, trying the games that you have on your shelf that you've wanted to try out for a long time. So we're doing it here on camera. So you're going to see us asking questions about rules, looking things up. I'm going to be looking things up. We're going to be figuring it out together. There is a VTT, which you'll notice is not on your screen because it's not very visually interesting, and we didn't want to take up screen space when you could be looking at these lovely folks instead. But it is a screen that has numbers on it. The numbers, we're using Owlbear Rodeo in case anybody wants to be able to use a similar thing. There are numbers 2 through 12 here because they are for the outcomes of a 2d6 roll. We're going to be using that for what's called a struggle. Before we get into any of that, though, I want you to meet all the wonderful people that we have here. So I am going to pass it over first to Austin.
Terrible idea. Hi, everyone. I'm Austin, the Diabetic DM. My pronouns are he, they. I'm super excited to be playing this game. Do we say who we're playing?
Yes, please. Go ahead and say your names, pronouns, character names, pronouns, and then just like a place to find you, and then popcorn.
Okay. Yeah, I am playing Chris Ripley. Very a young Republican who doesn't want to be. And you can find me over on Stories Told Again in Actual Play Podcast.
Nice.
I'm gonna popcorn to Aurora.
Hi, Aurora _lore here on Twitch. If you ever want to come hang out and do a work buddy stream with me, I love getting to play in APs and just kind of float around everywhere. Today, I'm going to be playing Abella Phoenix. She is someone who, if she knew about hacking and computers, would totally be into that. But she's a very firm believer in finding out the truth and making sure everybody knows it. And I'm going to go ahead and popcorn it over to PJ.
Hello, everyone. My name is PJ McGaw. I'm playing Simon Jack Collins. Both of our pronouns are he, him. That's right. He has 3 names because that's what we do out here. You can might know me from just role playing around the internet, Nat 20, Critic Chronicles, Queen's Court Games, Dungeons Divided, all those fun places. And I'm here because I'm excited to not only continue the tradition of awesome storytelling by kicking back at the jackboots, but also because I've never done the system before and it looks really cool. We're gonna play and learn together. So let's get excited for that for a good cause. And I'm gonna throw it over to Hans.
Hey, I'm Hans, she, they pronouns. I'll be playing Lilith, who uses she, her pronouns. Just the happiest being you're ever going to meet. And you can find me on all socials at Handscape. And I'll pop it down to Adi.
Hello, people of the internet. I am Adi MK. I go by Fab, he, him pronouns because he, him's a little boring and I prefer being Fab first. I will be playing Tariq Kamlani, who is he's a bit of a bad lad, but he leaves smart things to smart people and he gets on with the other stuff. That's what Tariq Kamlani does.
Love that. And I think that is back to me now. So again, I am Danny, he, him, Danny R. Mendoza, all over the internet. So you just put Danny R. Mendoza into whatever search engine you want, and I'm there. But Blue Sky is a good place to look for my TTRPG stuff. I am the authority today, which is in the parlance of this game, the guide or game master. And welcome now to Misspent Youth. Today we are playing a game where heroic teenagers, all characters are 12 to 17 years old, fight back against a terrifying oppressor. We're going to start by digging a little bit more into our youthful offenders, or YOs, that is what we call player characters in this game, who each have a permanent record, which conceptually represents the authority's dossier on you. So it isn't just reflecting who you are as a character. This is a little bit of what the authority, how the authority would classify you. Now, before we get into that, Misspent Youth is a tabletop RPG. In our case, we're going to be playing in a sort of sci-fi environment, although you can play it in lots of different kinds of environments, about friendship and rebellion. Our game is going to take place in a world ruined by Apex Wellness, a corporation destroying the environment while legally mandating toxic positivity to keep the populace docile. Right now, our youthful offenders have already been living under the yoke of this for a long time and have been pushing back against it. So they're a little bit of a veteran. The one thing that's a little bit different than Rules is Written that we're starting with feels a little bit more like a session that would happen a little ways into a campaign, is that of the 5 convictions that each character has already sold out one of those convictions. That is a mechanical thing that happens during a struggle, where if the authority would win the struggle, you have an opportunity to sell out one of your convictions instead, in exchange for them not, or myself in this case, not winning that struggle. So I'd like to go around real quick and dig into your characters as a way of getting us into the first scene, which is referred to as What's Up, by letting people know a little bit more about who they are, what they look like, using the sheet for the permanent record. So what I'd like everybody to do, you gave us name, specify age, anything that you answered in relation to sex. The 5 convictions that you have, which are means, motive, opportunity, MO, and disorder, and which one of those you sold out. And when you tell us which one of those you sold out, I would love for you to tell us something about what it was like to have sold it out. You could tell us the entirety of the anecdote. You could tell us what it felt like. You can tell us why you decided to have that be what you sold out, either in character or above table. Don't feel pressure about this. You don't have to make a big, long thing, but you can if you want to. We just are going to be better off if everybody understands the collaborative nature of this game, and that includes knowing how you made these characters, why you made these characters, what their components are. Would anyone like to volunteer to go first?
Yeah.
If not, I am the authority, so I can, Adi, I heard you.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
Because you're reaching out, Danny. You're sorry. I'll stop. Let's go.
So yeah, if you'd like, go ahead and walk us through your permanent record. Remind us of the name of your character, their age, whatever you put under sex, and then their 5 convictions.
So Tariq Kimlani is a 16-year-old young chap. He has big, ragged, black dreadlocks that kind of droop and cover a sallow face that's kind of sunk in, and there's some black peach fuzz on his face. But he is in a big brown leather duster that seems to envelop him. He's too small for it, but that's his thing. And he always has his modded riot shield that he carries with him, because Tariq Kimlani is, while the smart things are doing the smart people are doing smart people things, he is protecting them and holding the line and making sure that anyone who needs support in conflict would have him to back them up, because he is fast, and he kind of darts around the place with his shield and this little metal pipe spear that he wields. He is outraged by the world in general. That is his motive. And his opportunity, which is that he is sneaky, was the one that he sold out at one point to the authority. But which made, I think, as far as how that works, the untrustworthy, which is what it was once, has transformed to duplicitous. And yeah, we'll get into that. But his MO is that he is, that is one of the convictions, right?
Yes. Yes. So,
So,
an MO,
yeah.
so the convictions overall are means, motive, opportunity, MO, and disorder.
Yeah. So my means is that I'm fast as fuck, boy. My motive is outrage. My opportunity is sneaky with the one that I sold out, which has now become which has become duplicitous. My MO is that I'm a frontline holder, tank, frontline unit, all of that. His disorder is that he has terrible personal hygiene.
Okay. Who would like to go next?
I'll take a shot. Oh no, what's up?
Go for it.
Well, are we doing the sold out scene later, or are we doing that now in the same thing? That was
Sorry,
just
you can do the
clarify.
full scene now. I'm sorry, because you mentioned what the sellout was. I thought that was everything you wanted to do, but if you want to do more with the sold out thing, now would be the time.
I think during a particular protest when this was a difficult one, because it was a hunger and a hunger protest of food, so that people were not eating or drinking water. A couple of the people who he knew would be extremely stubborn about it just did not, and at that point there was no other way to have made sure that their voice would not be shut down because of everything that was happening. But he would not allow them. They won't compromise their ideals. He does not mind doing that in that moment, because right now these leaders are his only way to get further into the mechanism against the fucking authority. So he's willing to do this. He will work with the authority. He would sell out people for in some other place, not as bad, not as crucial to the future. So they be sell out, bro. They be sell out.
Okay. Copy that. Thank you for that. PJ, you wanted to go next?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So Simon Jack Collins, Simon Jack SJ, whatever you want to call him. He's very tall for a 17-year-old boy. You can tell from looking at him that he played a sport or two at some point. You can't quite tell what, but his body definitely has that cocksure confidence and slightly musculature added on that anyone who has had to eat an extra couple of burgers and do a couple of extra hours in the gym would just pack on. His aesthetic can best be described as trying to blend in to the authority, but still having enough accessories to stand out. You know, think of like a nice white pressed collared shirt, a black vest, but there's always a red, white, and blue Captain America pin with the star being a scratchy anarchy star. You wouldn't know unless you know what to look for, where to see it. You know, he's got his boots on, but they're not. He always says they're professional boots, but the laces are always color coded and specifically done up. He is a punk blending in because sometimes the only way to change the system is to get at the heart of it and then dismantle it. He always wears a smile on his face. Even though he has a nice high and tight or very form conservative haircut, something buzzed about it that gives a bit of a harder edge and a smile. The smile is fake. The smile is the costume. That's what gets him into the room with the authority. Because he knows if he takes the pills, he loses. But if he makes them think that he's there, that's what works for him. Well, so Simon Jack Collins. What are his means, motive, opportunity, MO, and disorder? Cool. He is more of a face and a voice than a fighter. Can he fight? For sure. But he knows that if he fights alone, he can't win. Optimism. He grew up in the story of heroes. Rebels, punks, yes, but also comic book characters. People that taught him what it meant to have dignity and truth and justice. And he knows that it's there. If it can come from one writer's mind, then it can live in everyone's heart. And that's what he fights for. Opportunity, trusted. He knows how to blend in. He knows how to make the authority feel safe, how to make it feel good about itself. His MO is speaking, obviously. But when we're throwing the bricks, someone's got to tell you why the bricks are coming at your head. And that's his job. Lastly, his disorder. You're not a speaker on the front lines unless you're a stubborn son of a bitch. And that's Simon Jack Collins. He might be wrong, but he'll never admit it. And he's not. So why would he stop? I think the thing, he's sold out at this point. It all goes back to one day when someone checked his pockets and found his happy pills were all full. He tried to lie and said he just bought them. But it became very obvious he never took them. He lost that trusted factor of the authority. And I think because of that, he's starting to become a little cynical, but he's still wearing that smile because even if the authority doesn't buy it, he knows someone behind him needs it. That's Simon Jack Collins. He's here to kick an ass or two and hopefully make you feel good about kicking the right ass today.
I love that. That's fantastic. And to give you all, as we continue with these introductions, give you all watching at home, and even us who are playing this for the first time on camera, a little bit of a sense of how this game pilots. You can actually pick up this game and do this kind of character creation at the table together. So we've sped that up today by doing some of that stuff ahead of time. But you can just show up, decide to create the characters with the choices that we're showing you right now, and the authority. That's right. You as players would be able to help shape the authority, including some details that I'm going to go over after they're done with their introductions. So keep that in mind as you're listening to this and think about how would you make a character in this world? Who would like to go next?
I can go.
Cool.
All right. So Chris Chip Ripley II is a recently 16-year-old kid that the moment you look at him, you know that he got a brand new car for his birthday. However, anyone that truly knows him knows how many bodies he's willing to stuff into the trunk.
Yeah.
He has this perfectly gelled and coiffed hair. Oftentimes wears like a tie to school when he doesn't have to. There's a number of buttons that he has on his backpack that he also just hands out to people that have his own dad's face on it, who is a political news pundit, aka Chip Ripley from What's the Dip with Chip. He is almost constantly on his phone to his 1.2 million followers, mostly people who dress and think the way that people think that he does. But to everyone around, they know that it's basically a front and a way to funnel his own father's money into more proactive, more progressive causes. So Means cool. He is one of the most popular kids in school, and tries to use that as like a way to influence the populace around him. He tries to do the same thing with his followers, oftentimes using almost like dog whistles in the things he's talking about, but like in the opposite way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Of the way they're traditionally used. Motive, pride. He thinks that he knows a lot better than his own father and the kind of swill that he is meant to convey to the public. And if there's a way for him to fight back from this, it's really just a matter of who am I really and how is that sort of developing the space that I'm creating and what I want to see in the world. Opportunity. He's rich. He has a lot of money. His father has a ton of money. He is hardcore nepo baby. That will never admit it in public, but will always admit it in private. His MO is spotlight. He is very media savvy. He knows how to make eyes look at him or make people look at other things that potentially the authority doesn't want you to see. And disorder, suspicious. He's very good at masking. He is remarkably good at masking, almost to the point where when people first meet him, like that are part of the cause and learn of his values, they think that he's a really, really terrible mole than a really, really successful one for them. As for what the conviction that was already sold out, I was thinking I could do pride. I think that at one point there was an argument that he was having with his father about having his son as part of some sort of segment on What's the Dip with Chip, where he sort of had to present a false narrative about like a wilderness camp or a burnout retreat, something he just very, very clearly did not believe in, and thought at one point that he could convince his father that this is something that was actively harmful to people. And in the process, he realized that he would lose literally everything if he didn't just put on a fake smile and do everything that his father said in that moment. But in that moment, he also realized that his father was beyond saving. Anyone on the opposition, he thinks, is beyond saving at this point.
I love that. Thank you. And speaking of What's the Dip with Chip, What's the Dip with Chip is the #1 rated news program on Truth TV. Truth TV being the flagship channel for Consolidated Broadcasting, or Concast, which is the propaganda arm of the. I have to say this right because I can't say what it's actually lampooning. Hold on one second. The Heritage Mandate. The Heritage Mandate, which is our overarching dystopia here. Although the specific sub-dystopia that is governing our session today is the aforementioned Apex Wellness that I will get into once we meet our final 2 youthful offenders. Who would like to be the penultimate?
I can go.
Go for it.
Lilith is a 16-year-old female, a little bit shorter. She has a shock of white hair with the tips dyed pastel pink, shaved on one side, typically pulled over and curled. Normally dressed in just the most like neon colors she can find. She's very bubbly, very flighty. Commonly seen kind of just popping in and out of like all different groups of people, a bit of a chatterbox in a sense. For my convictions, for Means, she is fast in the sense of Yes, that flightiness of going back and forth, but also fast in the sense of her distribution of both things that are true and untrue. She loves a good rumor, and she loves learning secrets to share with her friends. For motive, I have optimism. I think she truly is a very quote unquote happy person, at least in general appearances. She's optimistic that there is something better, potentially a better way for this all to exist. Opportunity, she's trusted. Surface level, she's happy and exactly the type of youth that the authority would want to exist here. My MO is innocent confidant. In the same way that we have a couple other people who are faces, I think she's more the receiving end of it, of people just feel super comfortable. She's so happy and just nice. Why wouldn't you want to talk to her and just share all sorts of things? And for her disorder, she is trusting to her own detriment because she feels like it's reciprocal. She's very innocent. She goes, I think there's good in people, and I'm gonna trust that they don't have bad intentions. And I think I sold out trusted. And I sold it out I can't remember what trusted sells out to. Believer. And I think for her it's she used to be like wary of the happy pills and probably didn't need them necessarily. And I think she sold out 100% to believer of she fully believes the lie that happy's better because if she's happy she doesn't have to deal with anything else.
Nice.
Oh shit. Wait, so does that mean you're actually on the happy meds? Oh,
I guess there's only one way to find out, right?
Shit.
One way to find out.
Okay.
And finally,
Holy shit.
our ultimate youthful offender for today.
Yeah.
Please introduce.
Of course, Abella Phoenix. She's 17 years old, female, and she has this bright red curly hair, wears this amber choker necklace, and has freckles everywhere. And if she could choose one thing to be, it would be to not be perceived. She has a beanie in her pocket for any time they're going out and about trying to get into mischief, that she tries to tuck as much of that hair in as possible. While we have people in this group that are great at drawing attention, she hates the fact that her naturally bright red hair draws attention. She wishes anything but. For her means, she is fast, not necessarily on her feet, but fast thinking, fast speaking, fast at getting in, getting information, and getting out. Her motive, altruism. She really believes in her friends. She wants to make sure that they are safe as much as possible, and to her own detriment, will do anything possible to make sure that they get out safely. Her opportunity, she is sneaky. Again, a little bit more for some covert things as opposed to being great at hiding. That hair just doesn't her no favors. But she wants to make sure that as much as possible, she'll fly under the radar and get what she needs. Her MO, she is a big fan of researching, getting information from the past and the ground news happening in reality. If she could get her hands on first-person account video or statements from people who were dealing with any kind of altercations, she would get that information and share it with as many people as possible, because her disorder, the truth must be known. She doesn't understand why anyone would lie, why anyone would use falsehood when the truth is so much more powerful and so much more motivating. And she sold out her altruism. So now, instead of trying to make sure that everyone is safe and everyone gets out, she's also a little bit more scared for herself and trying to figure out what she's going to get out of it. And she is becoming really good at kowtowing to the right people. I think there might have been an opportunity where the group got into a little bit more trouble than they knew how to deal with. And she was able to give the information, maybe gave up somebody else outside of her group of friends to make sure that this group made it out safely.
It's tough, right? You live under this kind of structure for long enough, and everybody sells out something. And a lot of people sell out more than one. We're going to find out today how much y'all might sell out in real time. But before we get into that, I want to, number one, in case any of you don't see this notification quickly enough, I'm telling you above table, fellow players, that you have a notification in Discord in relation to a list of friendship questions, because after I'm done with the next section that I'm going over, you are each going to ask one of those questions or a question like it. Feel free to adapt it however you'd like to one of your fellow players. You're going to be asking it as your character to one of the other characters. Normally at this point in the game, everybody watching at home, and for those of us here playing for the first time, there would only be one friendship question asked. But because we're playing this as a one-off and I want everybody here to get equal attention, each of you are going to have a chance to ask one other player a question as a way of getting to know you in this world better. While you're thinking about what that's going to be, let's talk about what this world is. We've talked about the permanent record so far. I have two other documents up on my side aside from their stuff. I got to tell you, being the authority, a lot of paperwork, right? I have a dystopia sheet over here for Apex Wellness, where I've described Apex Wellness is a corporate regime destroying the environment while legally mandating toxic positivity to keep the populace docile. Who would ever think anything like that could possibly really happen? There are four main components for an authority: vice, victim, visage, and need. Need is written in, but the others are pick lists. So I'm going to let you know the pick list for vice, so everybody who wants to learn more about the game, could be absolutism, fear, greed, sadism, or the one that we picked for this session, which is utopianism. A utopian authority thinks it knows what's best for you, and it really believes whatever fucked up scheme it has will make the world a better place. Typically, when playing this game, we would be building the authority together. Not just me, who's playing the authority, but we as a table would be building this together live. So if you want to pick it up and play it yourself, you'd be doing it at this point in the game. Victim is the next primary section, and you get to choose between freedom, history, humanity, progress, or the one that we picked, nature. Nature. The authority commits crimes against nature, the world, animals, plants, and natural processes. So even though this authority commits crimes against lots of different things, what we're focusing on today for this session is environmental. Visage is the form the authority takes. The face it wears tells you what you need to do to attack it directly. So the options are corporate, personal, religious, state, and even though what we're doing mixes in at least a couple of these, we're going with systemic. A process, a culture, a civil paranoia, a life-defining test regimen, etc. Since it's got no face to spit in and no headquarters to stink bomb, this authority can be very difficult to directly confront. What I will say as an addendum to what it says in the book is it has a lot of offices to stink bomb and a lot of faces to punch. So you can directly confront it a lot of different ways. One of those is Apex Wellness. Those are the main components here. Need, we wrote in to extract the planet's resources while keeping the population blissfully pacified. And this is not spoilers, y'all. This is part of the process at the beginning of the game. We typically would be building systems of control where these are the systems of control that I use. They would be built by the players. And then there would be exploits provided, one at the top of the game, that I would create for the players. The systems of control that we're playing with, there's a rating system here, by the way, and we're playing between PG-13 and R. R mostly for language. Systems of control, we've got mandatory joy supplements, the aforementioned happy pills, community consequences, which is essentially the mechanism through which, fairly formal in Apex Wellness, the mechanism through which there's like a social credit rating, essentially, that is meant to enforce homogeneity and normative considerations. Vibe checkers, who are just here to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Nothing to be nervous about, right? Burnout retreats. Who wants to suffer from burnout when you can be recentering yourself and finding your happier life, working outdoors in the fields 12, 16 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week until you're better? Yeah. And the synthetic hologrid. That's right. In this particular dystopia, we don't see the sky. We see a facsimile of the sky. There's a synthetic hologrid above us. None of our youthful offenders here know what the world outside of it looks like yet. They have the exploit on their side of the Deep Root Collective. They may consider themselves a part of this collective. They may consider themselves allies of this collective. They may think the collective is dangerous or disagree with some of the things that collective does, but the collective is here in the game as a mechanic to help them. An underground network of guerrilla gardeners who possess pure, unaffected heirloom seeds and operate using strictly analog, soil-based technology. Since Apex Wellness relies entirely on digital surveillance, synthetic hologrids, and chemical joy supplements to control the populace, this collective's off-the-grid methods are completely invisible to the authorities' sensors and provide the only remaining connection to the real, natural world. I'm sure nothing is going to happen to threaten that, right? So that is what we're facing. I have on another sheet the case file form that's mostly blank right now, only has authority figures in it. One of the 5 sets of authority figures that I've preset into this, you all know about already. That's the vibe checkers. 4 more, we're going to see what you get to find out. But before we do that, we're going to go into a different section of this sheet called friendship questions. I mentioned before that friendship questions typically only do one at the start of a scene. But for the very first scene in a new campaign, I want each of you to be able to ask a friendship question. For the subsequent 6 scenes that we plan to do today, we will be able to do one at a time as normally planned. So who would like to ask someone a friendship question first?
And quick question. This is one question from one player to another player. That's it.
That's correct. So you're going to pick one. You're going to pick one person to ask. You're going to ask that question. They're going to answer it. I'm going to ask, because I have a lot of things open, that you write down some form of the answer, even if it's paraphrasing it, and put it in the chat for me, because I'm going to be able to I'm going to need to be able to refer to it after the fact. So who'd like to go first?
I'll go.
Go for it.
My question is for, oh gosh. I'm forgetting your character's name already, PJ.
Simon Jack.
My question's for Simon Jack. Why are you the only person in this whole aggressively cheerful city that I can trust with my true unfiltered feelings?
Okay. I got the answer to that. So I think it's because we both share an optimistic view of the future.
Mm-hmm.
You're a bit more centered in the now, being very positive, and I think when you're having any sort of emotion that might threaten that positivity, like seeing your positivity in the now feeds into my positivity for the future, and I think we just kind of create that cycle. Whenever you're having a moment of doubt or whatever, I think it's just a simple moment of like, hey, look, you feed me, so no matter what happens, I'll make sure you're fed. Do what you gotta do. We got this.
Cool.
I love that. Why don't you, PJ, ask the next question then? And that's how we'll do this. Whoever gets asked the question, if they haven't already asked a question, they'll be the next one.
All right. So I think I'm going to ask a question of... I'm trying to get the character name. 1 second. I'm also having a problem with character names. Adi, what's your character's name again? Apologies, I blanked.
Tariq Kimlani. Tariq.
So I'm gonna ask Tariq. Why did you decide to trust me enough to show me your secret stash of heirloom seeds?
Oh shit! The system assumes I trust you to show you the seeds of my people. Hmm. Hmm. What is the question again? Ask me again, please.
Yeah, the question, why did you decide to trust me enough to show me your secret stash of heirloom seeds?
Where would we have been when you'd proposed this question to Tariq?
Oof. I mean, if you want to, I can give you full control of that narrative.
No, please. Like we're building the scene, right?
Oh, okay. Well, I think I would feel like since our lives are very school centric, being that we're teenagers, I feel like trying to do this in a school would be too dangerous, a little too overexposed. So I feel like this had to be out in the wild, either at a person's house or in the streets or in a back alley, something that we can be out in public but still safe.
Okay. But so we're safer than we would otherwise be.
Yes.
Somewhere that you think is private, which I'll go ahead and add to that as well, that because you know that you're in this synthetic space, this hologrid, you might actually find more privacy indoors rather than outdoors because there is no proper outdoors. You're under a dome. So somewhere that you might believe or have reason to know is safe, as far as you know, right? Safe from bugs and things like that. A lower tech space, a Faraday cage, something like that.
I think it would be an old like garden shed on like an old abandoned property that I think we've made into a Faraday cage because like it's like the most avant-garde job of like aluminum foil across every fucking surface. Yeah, 100%.
You use what you have, right?
100%. Okay. Why did you decide to trust me enough to show? Me think it was how me felt when the realization of what kind of person you are, Simon Jack. Me see promising you that, hey, if everything go alright, maybe you'll be there on the other side to plant these. So, which is why me give you 3 of those. I wrap them up in a nice little piece of cloth from which I will cut from hanky that my mama left with, and I will make a nice little trinity knot and he'd kind of like slip that you and yeah I may still not know if you smoke this or not, but he'll pass on a joint as well. But yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to speak for 17-year-olds across America, but PJ would love to say yes to that. So for sure.
We share a token.
Copy that.
I think
Also,
I think that
I
think
will
that
say
might
that
have been our first share.
I will say that
token.
also as far as the legality of that is concerned, and like at different like developmental ages or whatever, this is a sci-fi environment, right? This is not directly, I will say, Twitch and YouTube is not directly analogous to anything in real life. So understand that this is entirely
distinct.
separate.
Legally distinct.
Yes, legally distinct. That's funny. Yeah. So that sounds good to me. Please do make sure to share whatever you consider to be the summation of that answer in the chat for me as well. And I believe that then that takes us to you, Adi, to ask someone a question.
I was thinking about this one, and I think which would be the most interesting one, because I choose to ask this one because it already implies a certain level of comfort or something like it is a certain level of access that has been given, because the question that I think Tariq would like to propose to Abella I think it was after the protest of farmers, after we got done pelting the popo and we ran off fucking bomber clock. That after we got a little wasted, what is the most dangerous, toxic, negative emotion we secretly shared with each other?
Ooh, Abella deals with depression very much so. While Tariq is a little bit more tuned into planting the seeds, touching grass, so to speak. Abella is very adamant in not taking the happy pills, but also recognizes that she struggles with motivation to do what needs to be done in this very oppressive society. So yeah, she'd share that she struggles with depression in a quiet moment when they're a little bit more at ease, a little bit more coming off of the insanity after a protest and getting out of there.
I
Yeah.
honestly think that Tariq would have just leaned forward, looking you in the eye with a kind of quizzical look, and just would have just put a hand on your arm and just gone, "What be toxic or negative about that? That's just part of life, brethren. Oh, come on. Don't try and deflect with something bullshit like that. Give me proper answer." Not that I'm calling what you say bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah. No, I know. I'm trying to think of what that
okay.
level, that bottom layer is.
Good to know we're on same page, because me have a me have a banger to drop on for you as well.
Yeah. I think it would be, kind of a what's the point? Do we keep doing this for? She doesn't have an innate sense that everything's going to go well for everybody. She thinks that it is going to end poorly. So if there is a thing of fighting for hope, she doesn't know what that is. She just does it because that's what her friends are doing.
That make me think, that explain the story me gonna share with you, brethren. You know why me do this all the time? Because I just see rays of sunshine coming down, light in the path to the future. No, sometimes you know why Tariq Kamlani do this as fucking spite, just to say fuck you to anyone who want to put in our way that way.
What do you do when the anger burns out?
The anger and you know what, that big grand thing, indeed. But me not know if our context allow me anger to die down anytime soon, love. No, anytime soon. But you know what I did? There's this one old bugger, yeah? He was right up in me ass about stinking up his place with of my odorness and what my mama was bringing. God bless her when she lived. You know what me did? Me just found bag of all garbage. Me found chicken gut, old avocado, that mold beef, slop, shit, all of that with some fish bones. And we put that in a little bag that followed him wherever he go. Oh.
Yeah.
And you know what toxic about that? Me really enjoy doing to that, bro. Oh. And you'll just like hold hand out for
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Amazing.
All right. Fantastic.
So
So please go ahead and write down that like a sort of a summation of that for me. And then
I've got a
please-
question for
Yeah.
for Chris or Chip.
Please, Chris.
Chris. All right. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I know everybody at school calls you that, but where is our absolute favorite hidden spot in the Deep Root Garden, and why does it mean so much to us?
I think that it was one of the first points in which I felt like I ever was accepted by you guys. You ended up taking me to this like really, really big, somehow still ancient looking oak tree, and there were fireflies. Not the little fake ones that they put out every other Thursday in the park, but the real ones, the ones that actually are able to breathe and don't move off of an algorithm. Just the real, actual ones. And it was the first moment where I felt actual, genuine joy. And I feel like that was...
Sounds
That was
beautiful too.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love that. So please write that down. And Austin, your question for someone.
I think the only person left is Lilith. Hi.
Hi.
This is fun. What terrible, destructive corporate event did we have to stand there and smile through together, and how did we stay sane afterward?
Ooh, I think there was I think there was a big like release party for the new like season or whatever of your dad's talk show, and I think we ended up both having to be there, and it's the like you have to be so well behaved and so happy and like prim and proper the whole time, and I think we sort of made it go faster, made it more bearable by doing that thing where you're crowd watching and you're telling, like, we were telling each other what we thought, like, each person's, like, deepest, darkest, like, secret could possibly be. Of just making up, like, the worst things about these people that we were seeing. And I think just going back and forth made it so much more bearable for both of us. And it was, like, a genuine, like, little moment of happy. Not, like, the fake pillbot happiness.
Yeah. I love that.
I think that is perfect. I love that. Please go ahead and put that into the chat as well so that I have that too. And with that, we move into the rest of our first scene, which is referred to formally in the text as What's Up? The What's Up scene helps us get to know the characters, see their interpersonal interactions, and see them experiencing their everyday lives. So it can be in the middle of big action, but I actually want us in this case to start with something a little bit more intimate. I would love to find our characters where they feel safe hanging out, whether it be that aforementioned gardening shed, or if there's another location you all would like to set up. I'm going to ask that Austin first here. Tell us the first 5 seconds. That's the parlance of the game. So you do not need to do any dialogue yet. Just the first 5 seconds, bird's eye view, where you are. Right? You're each going to build your own first 5 seconds off of that, and then you're going to transition into a scene. Think of it as the first 5 seconds of you walking into this safe place in this situation, right? You walk in. What's the most important part of it to you? What's the first thing that catches your eye? What are you doing that's bringing you here? Let that build into you all organically chatting in character, and then I'm eventually going to do something.
Can't wait for that something.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are in like a very Breakfast Club like scenario. We are currently behind the the pool house at our high school. The one place where we were able to find like a blind spot between all of the cameras. There's no microphones. Actually, there is one, but it's like but all you could hear from it is the sound of the waves because there's a swim meet going on right now. And all five of us are just there. Yeah.
I had a question about our context. Would there be a poorer neighborhood?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. There's no, I don't know of any situation like this wherein there isn't socioeconomic stratification, right? So I fully expect that there is probably a very formal delineation inside of a domed environment of what where you get to live based on what you do for Apex Wellness, which is at least analogous to real world socioeconomic stratification in terms of where you live.
I think like if I'm not speaking for what everybody else is doing, but especially in a place like this, which is all fancy like, I think Tariq is, I think, a little would have been visibly uncomfortable getting into this place because as always, is a little scuffy, is a little dirty. So he would have kind of, passed on, Wagwan brethren, and then, passed on the greetings, but then he would have immediately kind of just gone and leaned up against the, closest wall just so that he doesn't get his stink on anything.
Abella would also be a little uncomfortable, but that's because it's this fake bright sunshine. There's water nearby. She has her headphones over her ears so that she can listen to something else rather than whatever the shouts and screams are of the swim meet that's going on, and just kind of has one of them half off so she can kind of listen into the conversation. But other than that, she's like, I wish we'd, kind of been underground for once.
I think Lilith coming in has the borderline where I think you all know her well enough to question of like if it's her genuine happiness or if she has been taking the happy pills today, but comes in kind of in a very like bright mood, and I think does the thing where she like sidles up to meetings and just puts an arm over your shoulder, just like, hey.
Let's see. Yeah, Simon Jack is going to. Oh, did I miss something?
No. Just sorry.
Yeah, so Simon Jack's gonna enter in. It's like the minute he gets in there, like the facade drops. It's just like, oh, fuck me, this day. There's too many hours in it. How's it going, everybody? And he's gonna try and get to a corner and just have like a decompression, just like I have feelings and I'll feel them fully. I have feelings and I'll feel them fully. Fuck, this day sucks.
I toss him an apple.
I would have waited for the apple to have been in flight, and then with a smirk he would have chucked a bottle of water, like in an interjecting parabola arc.
I like that. And Austin, you were going to say something too?
Oh, I threw an apple. Yeah, I want to ground him, and I feel like an apple would help.
Takes the apple and takes a big bite out of it, and it's like, that first sip of coffee in the morning when your body starts to come alive. Yeah, he bites that apple, like, like chomp, like. Don't talk to me until I've had my apple. Oh.
Just quick notes app idea for something to get Simon is A mug that has that on it.
Don't talk to me until I've had my apple. Oh my god.
Yes, yes. Remind me of all the reasons why me tolerate your company, man. And he just like shakes his head in Chris's direction.
Wagging the apple, he's like, and I thank you for your patience, because Lord knows we all need it today. Is this a crisp, a granny? What is this? This is not delicious. What is this?
I'd hope it's delicious.
Oh, it is delicious. I'm just saying the type of apple called delicious. I think that's propaganda because I've never had a delicious apple that was always mealy. Like, I got thoughts on apples, but we'll be here all day. So everyone, how are you doing?
Well, now I'm trying to figure out if Chris was able to sneak that apple out of the garden, but you know.
Oh, I fully did.
Oh, nice.
I mean, there be the snack, or is it just gonna be apple this time? Just
That was
looking
my apple. I wasn't in
expectantly.
charge of the snacks for this meeting.
Is this
Oh,
an official meeting? I didn't know if we had any actual agenda. I thought this was just a chance to let off some steam.
not maybe that just me projecting. Hope that there be food wherever I go. Okay, sorry, that be on me.
It was that
Hey,
or
I mean,
Joy Burger.
I've got just a bag of chips, but this entire thing is processed, so you could call it food. It'll be something you could put in your mouth if you need something to crunch on.
Oh, me no mind that at all, brethren.
There you go.
Yeah. Wagwan, bomba cloud. That'd be brilliant. And like we'll just do kisses to the skies and reverently start eating the food. Yeah, because he's a little emaciated generally. Yeah.
All right. As you all are settling in there, hoping to have this possible meeting, possible not meeting, be pleasant and relaxing and maybe away from the things that bother you out in the world. The things that bother you out in the world come crashing pretty literally into your space because we are now hitting the kickoff, which is a formal inciting incident for you story heads out there that is built into the first scene of the game. In What's Up, you have a kickoff that starts the action. And our kickoff today is that Apex Wellness Vibe Checkers arrive with bulldozers to your secret hideout. Not specifically knowing that it's your secret hideout, but where you're hanging out right now looks like it's on a list to be redeveloped. So that can begin our first struggle. But would anyone like to ask any questions, react, do anything before we get into that struggle?
Are they like trying to bulldoze where we're standing, or we're getting information that this is going to happen?
No, the bulldozers are outside. You're in a place that they just have on a list as like this is getting removed.
So it's not a situation where Tariq is just like he's broken half of a cracker off and he's offering it to somebody else and like you want some, and then like the bulldozer comes crashing through the fucking wall. Okay, no. Okay.
No, I mean the sound of what I will say. I'm not going to make it so that they're literally we can if y'all really want that. But my suggestion was they roll up outside and you hear the sound of destruction. And what's happening is like the building next to where you are, right, essentially, is starting to get bulldozed. And the second that you were to engage with this in any way that would allow you to gather information, you don't need to roll for this in this game. This is just something that you get to know above table. You will know that developers developing. Am I right? Like they're just showing up. They've got the paperwork they need to do this. And they're just going to do it. They don't care what you think. They kind of care that you're in there because it's more paperwork and problematic, but how much they care is up to us to find out. When we start a struggle, what is going to happen is that I, as the authority in this situation, am going to declare the authority's objective, what Apex Wellness wants out of this conflict specifically. And then you as a group have to tell me your hope you as a clique, which is what they refer to your group as in this game, decide what you want to achieve. So there has to be a specific thing, a specific hope that you have that you want to achieve that would run contrary to what Apex Wellness wants out of this conflict. Apex Wellness just wants to do its job. The job today is to knock this down. So, what do y'all want to do?
I've got a
Take a
soft
break.
pitch, but please feel free to spin on it, which is to, yes, wishful thinking to stop them, but even more so to capture their destructive nature and how much they don't care about what's going on and get that information to people to make the community upset with Apex.
And I think I would like to add to that by giving us a bit of a stake, because this is our secret base. All of our recordings, all of our editing, all of our equipment would be here.
Yeah, they're going to probably put in cameras right in so that we won't have this privacy in this area.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all of our hard drives, all of our data, all of it is here. And like,
And anything else that you all might keep secret individually, right? So if any of you aren't involved in keeping stuff that way, if you had any notebooks, if you have anything that you'd want to keep your parents or other family members from finding, that you'd want vibe checkers not to find, this would probably be what you would consider to be a safe place to put that. So whatever that means to you individually, you're welcome to add to that if you'd like, or keep it to yourselves for now. But it would be credible that it would be here, and with this happening imminently, you wouldn't necessarily have a lot of time to try to get it out. If you have small stuff that you want to take with you, I'm going to go ahead and say you're welcome to do that. You will have this contraband on your person while we do whatever happens next. So keep that in mind.
I'd like to propose one thing that Tariq would definitely, I mean, in addition to all of our data, etc., I think one thing that Tariq would like to recover is the modded additions that he's done to his shield, because right now it would just be the base, like, the civilian shield that he just carries around. But the thing that he's worked on, like, it's a bit of there's a few little things. There's some metal, like, there's an electric charge. It has a few things. It's an attack shield, and it has some other stuff. So he would definitely like to get his shield back, and like something to hide it under, because that's going to be on him now.
Okay. One thing I want to clarify from a rules perspective, you all have the struggle sheet open on Owlbear Radio, or Rodeo rather. Okay, perfect. So you all function as a unit, right? So there is an authority turn. In the first exchange, there's a click turn, authority turn, click turn. So there are no individual struggles, like in the game, mechanically speaking. It's not one-on-one in any way, but one of you will roll at a time, right? I never roll dice. And I will be claiming numbers on our struggle sheet as you will be claiming numbers. Reminder to everybody watching at home who can't see our Owlbear Rodeo sheet. This is a sheet that looks kind of like hopscotch that has the numbers 2 through 12 on it for the results of a 2d6 roll. So I claim numbers without rolling. You claim numbers based primarily on what you roll. I say primarily because there are some exceptions to that. Now that we've set the stakes a little bit, I get the first turn as the authority in the exchange by taking action, again, without having to roll to push toward my objective. And you are hearing the revved up bulldozers just knocking down the building right next to you with absolute abandon. Like, it's happening fast, y'all. So you do not have a lot of time. Because this is the first turn, the first authority turn on the exchange, I do not claim numbers yet. And now I ask you, who's going to stand up? The first yo to grab the dice and speak goes first.
Yo.
All right.
All right. Simon Jack is going to take whatever he can, shove it into his backpack, zip it up. And before he goes out, kind of remembers, for lack of a better word, the code switch to speak like I'm on these drugs. And I go back out and I immediately start running. This is, and I'm even going to give you a gesture. This is interference. I'm a blather and distract person right now. So hopefully this works. Y'all can do whatever I trust you to do. But he's going to come out and let's see, medicated, fake happiness. Got it. Okay. So he comes out and he goes, "Hi there, fellow people. It's great to see you. I'm very happy to be a part of this experience with you today. Quandary, though, I want to make sure that the enveloping areas can be safe while you delightfully do your duty. Are you going to make sure that we're all okay? Because that would be okay."
The vibe checkers that you're addressing all turn toward you in unison and say, "Of course, the safety of everyone under Apex Wellness is of the utmost importance to all of us." To be 100% clear that I'm being clear here, they're all saying this to you in unison.
Oh. I love hate that. I love hate that so much.
What sort of safety protocol do you not see us fulfilling? And before we continue this exchange, I'm going to ask that you roll that 2d6 for me, please.
Let me go. Let's go. Okay. I rolled a 4 and a 6.
So that is 10 total. So you are able to put a token on the struggle sheet on the number 10, please.
All right.
I take the blow. That is a term that was coined by the creators of Apocalypse World when they were creating a different game called Dogs in the Vineyard. That is mentioned here specifically in the game. Taking the blow is me describing how you effectively impacted the authority in the way that you intended right now. So go ahead and set that up as an answer to the question that I asked, and then I will show you succeeding.
Okay. So using that toxic positivity, using that almost like numb happiness, he's going to continue saying, "You're doing such a great job. It just makes me wonder. I trust your vision, but I don't think everyone else here has had a chance to see that vision. Some may be surprised, and I think this is a great opportunity to all come together and share that vision. Can you please, step by step, instruct me on that vision? Because I'm ignorant to it, and golly, I'd love to learn it."
You're absolutely right, all of them say to you at once. We should take this as a learning opportunity for ourselves, who can always be better, and for the community. You hear a speaker system kick up without turning away from you. Hello, community! Community. We are here to explain to you why we are demolishing these unsightly buildings that do not live up to the Apex Wellness standards. And then it goes on for a little while. The entire time, PJ, they are making unbroken eye contact with your character. All of them are staring at Simon Jack. Happy winning. Glad you did well. The second exchange, authority turn again. The vibe checkers are going so hard on this that it is exhausting. One thing that Apex Wellness is very comfortable doing is talking. And they are talking at you for what feels like an eternity. It is loud. It hurts your ears. It hurts all of your ears, even if you're not outside. It's coming out of speakers that sound like they're closer to you than you think. And you're wondering, if they have speakers that close, what else do they have? I, again, don't have to roll for my stuff to work. So I'm going to just go on to Owlbear Rodeo here. I'm going to take one of my little tokens, and I'm going to put it, let me grab it up there correctly if it wants to select a token. It's not being nice to me. Well, when I can do it, because nobody else can see what I'm doing anyway, I am going to move it on to the number 7.
I
because
got you.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
Oh,
I'm moving
no.
into the number 7. If anyone is curious, and I'm sorry that I didn't share this, it's a little bit of, it's going to feel like cheating, but it's not because it's a game. It's a little bit of me playing the unfairness of the authority because I explicitly know, thanks to the text and also math, that 7 is the most likely number for anybody to roll in this game with your 2d6. So if none of you claim 7 on the first turn that you take, I claim 7 as the
Nice.
authority every time we have a struggle. So now
Guys,
you've learned by
was
doing.
was that the first time any of you heard that? I mean, just checking. I mean, hi. I'm sorry. Innocent questions. Go on.
It is in fact by edict from the rules the first time that I tell you that.
love it.
So now you know the things are stacked against you unfairly. Who'd have thunk it? Now, since this is scene 1, I also get to claim another number. I get to choose the number 3 or the number 11 during this turn. It's entirely up to me, except I actually choose, it's not entirely up to me. I choose whichever of those two numbers has fewer yo tokens on its side of the board. So, looking back at our board, and given that PJ has one on 10, I'm going to pick 3. So, would you mind helping me out with that, Aurora, and just
Yep, I
putting
got
my
you.
token over? Thank you. On 3. So, as a reminder, if any of you land on 7 or 3 on your next turn, you lose. And when I say
Oh,
you
nice.
lose, I mean all of you lose collectively. The struggle. The only way that you don't lose the struggle is if you sell out. Unless, in this version of the game, chat, you want to ride in on your faithful steed. Because what we have are incentives. Because we are raising money, if you haven't seen what we're doing before, for Doctors Without Borders with a focus on Palestinian aid.
Help us
And
take out the authority.
You can help us take out the authority using game mechanics in a way that is a little bit outside the lines, the way that the youthful offenders would very much appreciate if they knew about this macro level of reality. So far, we've raised $75 out of our $100 goal. If you would like to get us to $100, we're going to get to celebrate something extra awesome aside from the donations at the $100 mark. And then we're going to be able to set up new milestones past that point. We're just $25 away. If you can afford to do it, please help out. If you can't afford to do it, that's entirely okay. We love you and we're glad that you're here. Please amplify our Tiltify link far and wide, anywhere you feel comfortable sharing it. Invite people in to come watch the show with us, be a part of the game, and see how our friends here in this clique of youthful offenders try to beat the crap out of the authority. Above table, I really want them to. At the level of the fiction, good luck. I will remind the table that we have 5, count them, 5 static interferences that I have been a benevolent authority and decided to allow you all to use, even though it was not specified whether it would go to you or me. Static interference, in this case for the resistance, allows a yo who rolled an authority number, so if you land on a 7 or a 3 in this case, to get a sudden flash of insight or a split-second warning that lets you re-roll exactly one of your 2 dice to try to save yourselves. So you don't get a full re-roll of the 2d6, but you pick one of the 2, you re-roll it, and if you don't land on an authority number, you get to claim it. Each of you have one of those right now, based on what we have received in donations so far. We also have a shared pool of 5 of the donation level for $10. The other was for 5, called the algorithm. Please choose an option. Okay, here. For the resistance, it is successfully bury a piece of Truth TV propaganda or do something else to hurt the authority. You may move 1 authority token currently on the struggle sheet to a much harder to roll number like 2 or 12. Heritage mandate side of it would be if I use one of these to push a lie, then I can move one of my tokens to a more highly probable number like 6, 7, or 8, or I can move a yo token to a less useful number. Because again, the authority has unfair advantages. I have not yet decided whether that shared pool is going to go to you all or to me or to a mix of both, because it was not specified. So you all are welcome to pitch me on an idea, and I will tell you that if it is creatively interesting enough, I am going to let you use it. And if I feel like the hustle's a little thin, I'm going to use it against you. So no pressure. But with that having been said, that is the end of that explanation and the authority turn on the second exchange. It is now a click turn. Who's going to stand up?
I'm ready. Especially because we've got these speakers, we've got our own gear, and the number one thing that Abella wants is for the truth to be known. So she's, while she's hearing these speakers and kind of getting it into her head, she's going through her cassettes of actual audio clips and trying to find maybe something that was spoken off air on Concast that she was able to get a little bit of Apex's actual true thoughts of the community. And so she's going to grab that, and then I would love for there to be some kind of tech relay that she can like jump into and like connect it to and just start broadcasting over all of these speakers. They've just wonderfully linked together the true thoughts of Apex on the community it's trying to use and abuse.
I love that so much. Please go ahead and roll me 2d6.
Alrighty. A delightful 7. Hey, can I have that wonderful thing you were telling me to re-roll one of those?
You're going to need to hustle for it. So here's what I'm going to say is going to happen at the fiction. You are in a hack-off, right? You're in there, you're trying to get this going, and somebody knows that somebody's in there doing something. So you're going to need to convince me here at the level of the fiction that you are doing something that is as a 17-year-old hacking into this, that you are doing something that is going against this adult or adults, this automated system, this AI, whatever it is that's doing this, faster and more effectively, so that you can beat this. Otherwise,
so
the only thing I can offer is you could sell out.
Here comes all my audio knowledge. So initially she's trying to get in digitally through, and she's like, that's fucking dumb. She pulls out her wire strippers, cuts it, links it straight into her sound playing device, and just hardwires it on in there, because that's going to be way faster than trying to get through every single loophole that this technology is going to be like making her try to link through.
All right, I buy that. Thank you, chat. You're down to, or we're down, collective pool, could be mine too, to 4 of those, unless more people in the chat would like to buy more donation stuff, in which case maybe more can show up. But we're down to 4. You're absolutely able to use that in order to, are you going to question, are you using, since you hustled me, I don't think you're using your reroll. I think what you're doing is you're moving my token.
Fabulous. Does that mean I would be taking the spot of the 7 that I rolled?
Yes.
Or
now yes. So don't forget, I got stuff I can do to maybe bump you off. Of course. But for right now, you get to take over the 7, and you get to move me to, I would recommend a 2 or a 12, because those are the least likely to be rolled.
You're right now over on a 3. I don't like you having multiples on the same side, so you can have that 12.
Okay, perfect. Love that for both of us. Okay, so you're on a 7.
I'm on 7. Great.
You get to fully describe how this works.
We'll say she, she's a little bit more, yes, she can do the computer stuff. She has more access to the analog. So it is a legit like cassette, like one of those little mini recorders. And she's got she can sometimes like sneak it in. Maybe she was visiting Chris's dad on set. There was like a school tour or something like that, and recorded a little bit of some of the conversation going on between Chip and one of his guests, somebody who is one of the leadership of Apex. And she's able to, again, she it's like, I'm not going to make this work with the hacking, strips these wires, plugs it directly into the audio, and we get over these loudspeakers just this off the cuff conversation of them talking about what idiots the people of the community are, how they're able to just kind of milk everything for their worth, and how they're benefiting on the side and not necessarily the community.
I love that. Austin, video chat, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Yeah? Okay. Once you read it?
Oh, I'm reading it now. Or yes.
Beautiful.
Ooh,
okay.
fun.
So, you fully succeed and hear Chip and this representative having a conversation. Why don't we let Chip start us off?
Okay. Yeah. So about these side effects in the joy pills, are we going to be putting that out into the world at all, or what's happening here? What's going on?
We would only put it out into the world if it leaked on its own, or if it felt advantageous to make people afraid of the pills. We know that the side effects are partially actually there on purpose, because they help us with what we've set out to do with the pills. But we will be classifying some of those things as side effects if they start to show up too obviously, and then put out improved pills that mask it a little bit better. Past that point, if we find that there's enough people involved in creating the pills who are trying to take too much control over what we're doing, then we will probably put out the side effects as something to scapegoat them, execute them, and then leave people taking a new pill or some other substance like it to deliver the same thing, branded completely differently, that will be essentially the same chemically.
Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. It's interesting you bring up leakage, because I'm just wondering about these side effects, if how they're going to affect everyone in the day. Leakage is one of them. Should I be wearing a diaper?
What, are you taking them? Do not take them. That is a terrible idea. Do not take the pills.
Okay, my son takes them. Should he be taking? I don't want my son to have leakage.
It's fine that you have your son take the pills if you feel that you need to do that to control your son and make sure that he stays in line. Your son should not have leakage, because that's going to be embarrassing to you, and therefore Truth TV and Consolidated Broadcasting and the Heritage Mandate. So do not, under any circumstances, allow your son to go out of the house without wearing a diaper. Your son has to wear a diaper at all times. The leakage is happening on purpose. It's supposed to be something that kills morale a little bit, makes people feel self-conscious, a little bit sadder about themselves, so that they don't feel like they can rise up and do something about what might otherwise make them mad. We find studies are showing us that if we make people feel self-conscious, they're going to be easier to control.
You know, I could definitely see that working. I could definitely see that happening. When it comes to my son, though, he does have quite a few followers. So maybe, if anything, he could make the diaper part. It just keeps going like that.
I think the one other thing,
I think as it happens, everyone looks at me, and I'm just like,
I think the one other thing, as they continue to talk about one of the player characters potentially wearing a diaper, is that the authority representative does mention that there is a form of the pill that doesn't have these side effects, that is used if you want to chase the high that can come off of the pill, and that some people in leadership will use recreationally occasionally, but you don't want to use it too much because it is addictive. But that is also leaked out. And with that, that all plays. That whole part of the conversation takes about 60 seconds. The fact that 60 seconds was able to play before this was shut off is a massive victory. But now, unfortunately for all of us, it is a return to the rest of the loop. We are going back into the authority turn, where again, just win, don't have to roll anything about it, and get to claim a number. And my number for this is going to be a 5 or a 9, and I have stuff on 3 and 12, but you only have on 10 and you have 10 and 7. So I'm going to take a 5, Aurora, if you don't mind moving my token over to 5. Sorry that you've been deputized as token mover for me. I just still can't get this working. I'll check it again on the break. So if anybody lands on a 5, that is going to be mine. For the next set of rolls that we do, I'm going to ask you all to roll your number first, and then fully describe what you want to do as the pressure amps up. What I do as the authority in this moment is I'm going to let you choose as a table, actually, because I'm nice. I got 2 things I'm generally torn by here. I am either going to trace the hack, or I am going to have these people hear a noise from where you are, and like behind PJ's character, behind Simon, and notice that there are more people there. So either way, your cover is blown. What I'm giving you an option on here is the cover blown simply because there's a bunch of kids in a room back there behind where Simon was, and then you can do something about that. Or do the people who are on site not know yet, but somebody knows that this hack originated in this room?
Do we want to punch things or run from things?
I mean,
You could always talk your way out of things too.
So you
right?
hardwired ends. Maybe that's harder to track. 'Cause it wasn't like a true hack.
No, but they would know the
Hear us?
location of where the interruption was. Yeah. So
Fair.
who
Actually,
did
that's
it?
Probably
No.
pretty.
The who is no
Yeah.
so far, but the
Yeah.
where would be yes, or they just hear noises and discover that you all are in that room with all the stuff that you have there that you haven't had a lot of time to hide and might have on your person.
I mean, we've got more time if they just somebody, but not the people on site, know where we're at. So we've got a little more time to.
At least one more round, you know.
Could I?
I mean, sorry, go on.
Could I distract them?
You can, but that would be when I ask who wants to stand up. This is right now just a choice of which consequence you two want to face. Like between these two, you 5 want to face, but between these 2 consequences. But then I will go to you, Austin, for who stands up next.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want to deal with less?
I think it's we make noise, right? It's just that these people right here now realize in the moment there's more people.
Yeah. So at least
do it.
more alarm. Yeah, I think perhaps. Yeah, I think that one. What do you think, PJ?
So I think if we make a fight right now, I think at some point we're going to have to like throw hands. But if we do it right now, we're going to be basically running the entire game away from another fight. So I think alarm and then maybe dip. I'm trying to put up a smoke screen. So if you can use that to get the hell out, even better. Then we'll
So that they hear a noise. Yeah.
Wait, it's they hear a noise. So we're going with they hear a noise, not with the tracing of the thing. Is that right?
I heard 3 people for hear a noise. If that makes sense for everybody. Yeah.
Hear a noise.
Yeah.
Cool beans. So you all inside of the room don't know this, but PJ, Simon outside, sees in unison the heads of all of the vibe checkers turn over to where you know your friends are. They drop their equipment where they stand, and they walk, not run, walk in that direction past you as though you're not there. That is the consequence that I used to claim that 5. Who's going to stand up? Austin, I believe it's you.
Yay! Okay. Yes, I would like to. Give me one moment. I'm just pulling up the owlbear.
Yeah, go for it.
Again. Okay. I got a 6.
Okay. You got
Okay.
a 6, which is unclaimed, so you succeed. So describe to us what you'd like to do.
Okay, so I would like to use Rich.
Okay.
Essentially, I would like to use my authority, or at the very least, my father's authority, to pull attention away from the people that are about to like find my friends. I think I'm gonna walk up to them. I'm gonna do my best impersonation of my own father.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go up to them and go, "What is going on here? Why are we talking about me wearing a diaper? What is going on here? You guys, you should not be focusing. You need to go fix this now, or at the very least, turn it off. You people, come with me. Come with me. We're going to fix this."
You see that they stare at you as you're speaking and do not interrupt you until you're done talking. When you take a break, they look you up and down, and they tilt their head at the same time, and they all say, "Chip Jr., why are you in this sector?"
I was here celebrating the joy of sport with other young people such as myself. It was RoboFish. It was my local team. It was my local high school's team, the RoboFish, against the other local teams, RoboFish number 2. I was here for a simple swim meet, and now we are projecting all over that I have leakage, that I wear a diaper.
As you say that, you watch their eyes roll into the back of their heads, and you see their eyelids flutter. And when that finishes, their eyeballs rotate back so that they're all staring at you with a smile. And they say, "We don't have on our records the competition you were describing. Is this an unauthorized competition?"
Wait, no, we did talk about this. There were splashes from a swim meet.
I know. But not necessarily those people competing. This is not, you still succeeded. So this is not you getting caught. This is just you facing an obstacle on the way to the success.
We're just keeping our checks in, Danny. All right. You're scaring us, Danny. All right. Shut the fuck up, Danny. Just continue, Danny.
So you are presented with that question. How do you respond?
Yeah. Well, clearly you haven't been looking in the proper groups. The bureaucracy of high school in general is rather terrible. I've been speaking with them about having their bookkeeping be properly processed by wonderful people such as yourself. Clearly, they have not been listening to what I'm saying, but I can assure you that there is, in fact, a swim meet. Come with me, I'll show you. And I take them to the inside of the swimming pool. Okay. So that way, like, there is at the very least like a full-on wall between both our safe house and their like construction equipment and the speakers.
I love that. I think that's fantastic. They follow you.
I also want to push one of them in a pool, but that's just aspirational.
If you do that, that would have to be another roll, and there would be other consequences potentially in the wake of that.
Totally
because you already got your success here. But there's always opportunities in life. This is the first scene, everybody, of 7. So just as a note. So with that having been said, you successfully take them over there. You convince them that this was a mistake of a bureaucratic error, of failing on the part of someone, clearly. Not anybody here, of course. But you watch as they report to each other, report to people who you can't see, check in ways that you would find familiar from a lifetime of living under Apex Wellness, that somebody is going to get blamed for this. There's a scapegoat somewhere. Somebody who didn't do this. Somebody who might be sympathetic to your cause or might be a true believer. Doesn't really matter. It's a person you don't know, who you might never know, who you might never see. And that person is probably going to go to a burnout retreat until they learn how to handle bureaucracy better. And that is your win. We're back to my turn.
Yeah.
And I get to go again and not have to roll. What were you going to say?
I put one small little detail that I think is really fun. I think it's like when they step in, they don't know. I don't even know at what point it happened, but all the robots are now wearing "What's the dip with Chip?" triangle pins of my dad's face.
I love that. So all of the, I love that you just have like a bag of them in your pocket or something. Like that you've got.
I need a bit. You should know this by now.
That's perfect. I love that. So every single vibe checker that you encountered is now dutifully wearing a well-appointed, polished "What's the dip with Chip" pin. And smiling at you. And when we go to cut away from them, we see from your perspective that they're all smiling, having just decided who it was that is going to be sent to this burnout retreat, and they do this. And that goes to my turn. My turn, where once again, I don't have to roll for anything. I just win. And in my turn, where I just win, I am going to claim, because again, I'm being real nice here, and it is our first scene. I cannot emphasize heavily enough. We have not left the first scene yet. I'm going to take number 2. So if you could please move my token, Aurora, to number 2, I would deeply appreciate it. That win, to the surprise of no one, is that I, as the authority, now know somebody hacked from where you are. That's right. The thing I got you to choose between happened anyway, just a little bit later. So it happened. They don't know who hacked, but now there were noises over here. These people are distracted, right? But there were noises, and different set of people for the moment know that the hack that led to this incredibly damaging leak came from that building. The same building that your character, Austin, came out of, canonically. Already.
Oh no.
And for that matter,
over.
PJ, an attentive vibe checker, and who would think that a vibe checker would be attentive, would have noted that you had previously come out of the same building. So the two of you might have a little bit of explaining to do down the line, but that's a later problem. The now problem that none of you know about at the level of the fiction, but that is true above table, is that somebody knows the hack physically originated where you are and is going to do something about it. But they're not doing that yet. Who's going to stand up? Adi.
I think using all of this, distraction, relevant eyes have been distracted and taken away from what's happening there. I think that Tariq is just going to dip and go low and try and sneak into the workshop area where we work on all our stuff. And he is going to try and get the backpack that contains. So he has worked on some stealth kind of ways to do it. So essentially, it looks just like a really big delivery / produce bag that is kind of, but that is the extra additions that he has made that he clips to the riot shield and all that. So because without that, Tariq loses a lot of his utility, because otherwise it's not like he's really good at a lot of other things. But he's going to do that and come back wearing that with a little cup, and he's just going to have a warm smile on his face and just goes, "A good day there, Governor. Everything going well, all right there, hey?"
Go ahead and roll me 2d6 and let's see where we're at here.
You asked me to. You asked us to roll this a while back, right? So are we using that same
Yeah.
number? Or am I
You
rolling?
you can, yeah, if you had rolled already, use that number.
Okay.
You have it banked
I
with it.
I have. I did roll it earlier, and that was a total of 9.
Lucky for you, that is unclaimed so far. So you're able to put one of your tokens on the 9. That is now one of your tokens. As a reminder for how this struggle functions overall, if you land on one of the numbers that I, as the authority, have claimed, then you lose, unless you decide to sell out one of your convictions. You are able to place a token when you win using one of your convictions. So you need to build into the explanation that you give about how you effectively push back on the authority with that conviction, and then you can put your token on the 9. If any of you land on a number that one of you have already claimed, you win, and the scene ends. You get to narrate how you win the scene, and then we get to move on to the next scene. So the only way that a scene ends is if you land on one of your numbers or you land on one of my numbers and do not sell out. Because if you do sell out, then you're able to get around having to lose in that moment. So which conviction are you using here? And you can use the one you sold out already, by the way, to place a token.
I think what I would. Yeah, I think he's using. He's going to be duplicitous, right? Because that is the. So what do I? Is it sneaky? Is it? Do I use sneaky or do I use the sold word?
You would use the sold word because you sold it
I
out
would use the
already.
sold word. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm being duplicitous. I am having the pleasant smile and the good mask, and I'm being happy as all good citizens are. And all that time there be a quiet rage that burns, but is held back by desire to be more than that. So yeah, I think that's what he's gonna do.
Perfect. What
Because
does? Yeah.
because
What were you gonna say?
because in doing, like, if he's succeeded in doing this, he now is in a much better place to eventually help all of us later if things start going bad, like they
Perfect.
always fucking do.
What does victory look like for Tariq in this moment?
I think he comes out, he joins hands with Simon, and you see, man, Jack, my brother, and look at us being all happy governors. We are all family here. Everything be nice. Everything be cool. And he'll start, like, doing dubstep, like dance kind of.
As
Yeah.
that happens, you see all of the other vibe checkers in the space who have now started to coalesce in this area. Not the ones that walked away with the pins with Austin's character, but new ones that have come through, come up on the two of you doing this dance, and in perfect synchronicity with you, begin to do the dance as well. All the same movements at the same rhythm, with no joy, absolute like monotony in the movement, but doing it in perfect congress with all of you in a way that creates like an atmospheric pressure that makes you wonder what's going to happen if you stop now. And that's you winning. Back to me getting to win for free. I'm going to put it's an 8, a 4, or an 11. I think I'm going to go for the 11. If you could put one of my tokens, please, Aurora, on the 11. Gonna claim that for myself. And thank you, chat. There was an anonymous donation of $10 a little while ago. Thank you, anonymous donation. For another one of those fun little you can make me get off a number, or I can make you get off a number, or I could put myself on whatever number I want. So we're back to 5 in the pool there. We're also only $15 away from our goal. So if you happen to be able to donate, if you haven't been able to donate yet and you're waiting for a very dramatic and satisfying time to do so, this is a great moment to donate $15. There's even a $15 donation incentive that I will tell you specifically buys you the public reacts. You can choose, or let me choose, either the resistance has the public pushing back against the oligarchy, with the Yos instantly gaining the resistance token, which can be cashed in to completely re-roll both dice on a bad roll, or fund the heritage mandate. The public buys into the propaganda. The authority gains the resistance token, allowing this guy here to force a Yo to completely re-roll both dice on a successful roll. So if I could interest you in either of those things, or letting me decide between them, I wonder which one I'd choose. Go ahead and donate $15, and you can introduce that into the game. All of these incentives are based on special rules and other game mechanics in the game. So, for example, the one that lets you do what we just did with turning a defeat into a victory, right, with that 7, that is based on a rule called Kid Gloves. That rules as written allows you to do that first time it happens in a game. With all that having been said, my 11 over here is a victory wherein this dance outside turns into a flash mob, y'all. And that flash mob is all the way down the street. There is a huge crowd of these vibe checkers who are right outside of where you all have been hiding. There are vibe checkers over on the other side next to one of your friends who is handing out pins and just got somebody sent to a burnout retreat, but otherwise doing a good job of distracting them, while your other 2 friends are stuck in a legally distinct Tasha's hideous laughter. No, what's the dance one? Otto's irresistible dance. Otto's irresistible dance of their own making, because they don't know what's going to happen if they stop now that everybody else is synchronized with them. What happens if they're no longer in sync? The 2 of you that are inside,
Tariq is just dancing, and he says, "Entropy, this be what it is." Entropy, like.
I think we only really need to ask at this point our one resistor who hasn't yet had a chance to stand up. What do you do?
I love that we're just in this building, like, I think just like looking at each other, like.
It's High School Musical, but swimming.
More and more people keep showing.
We're all in this together. When we hegemony and fascism, we win.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
I think I just look at Abella and I'm like, cool. There's a lot of people out there. Maybe we need I could just like make a dash for it, and I gesture towards like where you hardwired into your thing, and I just yank it, and I'm just gonna like full speed bolt.
Bolt. All right, roll me 2d6, and let's see where this lands.
There's so many on the board already.
Yeah, that's not.
It's really impressive.
Behavior.
Get one of ours.
5? Is that one of ours?
That's one of ours.
Oh no! Is it?
Is it?
That's one of mine.
No!
Wait, is it?
That is.
No,
You poopy pants trader. You
Damn
poopy pants
no,
trader.
we claimed 5.
No, that 5 says paralyzed, which is this guy right here. That's
No.
Oh God, damn it!
The authorities got
Five's
the
me.
5.
So
Yeah, but
here's my question.
But we still
Are you
have
going to
4.
sell
We
out?
still have
or are
4.
you-
We still have 4.
Well,
don't
do.
Actually-
don't make
But it's
him
more
me.
fun.
don't make him
Hold
I
on.
wanna get bad. I wanna
More
get
than
bad.
one thing.
Okay.
We
Okay.
together have 5, but I decide who gets to use them. But
Oh.
you individually
You have the
This is where
reroll.
we find out that
Have
Danny just
one
really doesn't like me. It's
reroll.
fine.
you
Yeah, you
individually
do have a reroll.
one reroll no matter what.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
can pick
yeah,
one
yeah.
of your 2 dice. You could re-roll that one, and then we can go with the new total if you want.
Yeah, Danny. I was reminding them about that one only.
Um,
Track which ones, because I don't think any of you have used that yet. So track which
No.
one y'all have.
Yeah,
Make
no.
sure, yeah.
Oh, I'm keeping track. No.
I'll try rerolling if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. But
Yeah.
which one are you gonna pick? What are the two dice you rolled that added up to 5?
A 3 and a 2.
So are you gonna re-roll the 3 or the 2?
Oh my god.
No pressure. I
The
will point out this
2?
is technically a strategic question. You may want to take
Yeah.
a look at the board and see where the paralyzed tokens are.
Yeah, we've
Silly.
got
Mm.
6, 7, 9, and 10 are the numbers you want to try and land on.
Yeah.
Okay,
And 8. You could also claim 8 or 4.
Or 8 or 4.
Yeah.
True.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep the 3.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a 2 again.
Well, fate's decided. And it sounds to me like fate has decided that you shouldn't have access to that pool of 5 for this. So to show off the mechanics of the game as written, you don't have to lose now.
I could
You
sell
just have
out.
to sell out. What do you want to do?
I did say I was using fast, and I think in this moment, it is that selling out for just the I do not care what else is going on, even if it looks bad for the 3 that are out there. In my head, I'm protecting Abella, who does not like to be in the public view at all. And in that like cold efficiency of like, I'm doing it, fuck it. I don't even make an attempt to hide. I'm just full speed, fuck the consequences.
All right, so decide what you want to scratch. What, like, you're scratching out fast. Decide what you want to put in its place that is a darker version, a nastier version, a more compromised version. Some in a cynical world might say a more mature, realistic, or realpolitik version of that prior conviction. And you don't lose because of that. Selling out pays, kids. That's the lesson that the authority wants you to know. Selling out pays. If it didn't pay, nobody would do it, right? So tell us how you successfully sell out in this moment.
It be times like this that we talk about banality or evil.
Yeah.
Remember, you're not selling out, you're buying in.
PJ gets it. PJ gets it. You should be the authority sometime. I actually unironically think you'd kill it running this game.
Thank you.
That's a little stars and wishes that we do afterwards. Done now live.
I'd also like to point out that like during all of this, just in the corner is my dad going like diarrhea, nausea, strange
Because they
tasting
technically
breast
have
milk,
not shut this off yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
cut it off, but it's like
excessive
looping.
giggling.
Well, she
love
just
that.
yanked
I yanked
the thing
it.
out, so now we're
I
fine.
Yeah,
have
so
it.
kills. It dies there. It
I
dies
have
there
it.
completely. Yeah.
It's baby like.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Okay, so you can
think-
take a moment if you want, or
Yeah, I
if
think
you have it, go ahead.
fast, I think sells out into recklessness. In the
Okay,
sense of you can
recklessness
be
sounds
like
good.
quick-witted and smart about how you're doing something, and in this instance, she's not. This is just like pure abandon, rushing into a thing.
Okay.
Fair.
So describe to me how her recklessness pays off.
I think all of the attention that was garnered by others is now like more singularly focused. And I think for everyone else needing to get like out and away from this situation and draw focus away from now, maybe they're less like, oh, we need to continue on bulldozing and like, what did she just run off with? Potentially.
So here's the great news for everybody. Selling out doesn't just keep you from losing. Selling out lets you win the scene. So you have now won the struggle. And the bulldozing
Did we,
does
though?
in fact cease.
Mhm.
Did you? Does in fact cease. And it ceases because this dance party took place up front. this bigger concern of this leak occurred. It's now a crime scene wherein there needs to be a full investigation on this hack. Someone unidentified was seen fleeing the scene. These poor other kids were over there waiting for a swim meet that wasn't properly structured. That was a crime unto itself. And we are going to see where we find our clique of youthful offenders when we come back from break. That's right, folks. We're going to be on break for 10 minutes. Go ahead and get a snack, get a drink, stretch your legs, go say hi to your loved ones, do whatever you want to do. I'm not the authority in real life. I want you to have choice. Go ahead and have a good time for the next 10 minutes, and we'll see you after that. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome back to a super sweet, cozy, not at all complex or difficult stream of Misspent Youth that we are doing for a great cause here at Many Faiths Plays. Many Faiths Plays is a collective of actual play artists, gamers, game designers, storytellers, wonderful folks who I recommend you come and hang out with at a channel set up by our very own Adi here. Thank you, Adi, for setting up this channel and putting us up for this this charity game here. Thank you also to Derek and the whole team over at QueersNSpears that is putting this game up over on YouTube. So if you're watching this on Twitch Live, you're seeing this at Many Face Plays. If you're watching it on YouTube Live, you're watching it on QueersNSpears. If you're watching it on VOD, you can watch it on both. But if you're watching it on VOD, maybe go donate directly to Doctors Without Borders because it's possible our Tiltify link doesn't work anymore. If it does work, continue to use it. If it doesn't, don't let that stop you, right? Doctors Without Borders still needs our support, particularly with a focus on Palestinian aid, which is what we are raising money for today. So we have raised so far $85 of our $100 goal. If we raise just another $15 between now and about an hour from now, we will reach our goal. And I quote, the milestone will be hit wherein something awesome happens. That is the official milestone. Something awesome happens. So if you would like for something awesome to happen for the low, low price of $15, you are welcome to get us to our goal. And that is on top of the donation incentives that you're able to pick up. We are currently sitting on some donation incentives that haven't been used yet. If they're not used tonight, they will roll over to the next stream. There are 4 rerolls of one of the 2d6s, one for each of the players who has not used it yet. One player did use it before the break. And if you didn't get to check that out yet, you should go back and check that out afterwards because it was a really fun time. We do have 5 opportunities to potentially have me put my marker on our struggle sheet wherever I want it to be. You all move my marker off of where it is to a place you prefer it be, or me moving one of your markers to where I want it to be. And I get to decide what to do with those 5 because nobody told me what to do with it when they bought it. So it's up to me, the authority. With that in mind, we are also attentive to people's time, and we're only going to be playing for a little bit less than an hour. So we're going to do a truncated version. The full version of this game, which I highly recommend you play and check out, is a 7-scene structure per session. We have only played the first, and it was awesome. So we are going to play the 5th and 6th scene, skipping scenes 2 through 4 and 7 for this stream so that we can finish on time. What we are going to do with that in mind is we're going to tell you a little bit about the state of the world in the wake of what happened in our first half. And then our lovely players, except for the one who did show us what it means to sell out on camera right before we went to break. Thank you for that, Hans. Other than Hans, everyone else is going to explain to us what during the intervening time that I am about to describe did they do to sell out to keep on fighting the good fight. Okay. In the wake of what happened, which came to be known as Swimgate, because the biggest thing to come out of that wasn't the leak, it wasn't the bulldozing, it wasn't the flash mob, it wasn't the kids being where they weren't supposed to be. It was the fact that somebody dropped the ball on the Swimgate schedule. And that is absolutely unacceptable. The person who was made responsible for that, who was found to be responsible for what I will remind everyone above table was a mistake that did not happen because it was a lie that that swim meet was supposed to be taking place, was punished for it by being given the opportunity to improve themselves, taking a well-deserved rest at a burnout retreat. A burnout retreat wherein they work 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week in the sweltering heat on a farmland in order to reconnect with their sense of humility, their sense of camaraderie, their sense of what it means to be a person connected to this great, big, wonderful world of ours. And isn't that what matters, everyone? So as that person is made into a public example, sent off to a burnout retreat, and has not yet returned, we find ourselves in the midst of what you all, youthful offenders, know as a cover-up, but what the rest of your community thinks of as just another day. Those leaks that were heard were said to be a loyalty test from Apex Wellness, not done for their benefit, of course, but for all of yours, because they wanted you to have the opportunity to stand up and show your whole community and yourselves that you know better than to fall for something fake like that. Who would fall for a bit of so obvious fake news, right? I mean, it's just clear as day. No one would ever talk like that, even if something like that were true, and it would never be true at Apex Wellness. Even if that were true, who would talk about it like that? It's so heavy-handed. Pundits came out to explain that it was just clearly poorly written, overwrought, too on the nose. You had people verifying that the audio signal was very clearly fabricated. They found the signature of AI having created these vocals in ways that were triple confirmed by different sources. All of the different news networks, not just Truth TV, came to the same conclusion, including the ones that give Apex Wellness a good what for every now and then. Even they couldn't deny that this was true. It doesn't hurt that they're all owned by Consolidated Broadcasting. And as that happened, and your what was for some time your safe place was eventually bulldozed, but not before you had time to get in there and get some stuff out of there that you wanted, because of the time you were able to buy with all of the distractions you did. You have had to find ways to survive. Who would like to step up first and describe how you sold out to survive? I saw Aurora's hand first.
Yeah. Can I claim that person who got sent off to burnout camp as a parent?
You absolutely can.
Fabulous. Yeah. So Abella is looking at her 18th birthday coming around the corner, and along with one of her parents being sent to this burnout camp, she is really feeling the pinch in her family monetarily wise. And she decides to, and I believe I can do this, sell out my MO. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So
Yeah,
that is specifically her tech savvy and her computer work. And she takes a job for Concast. She's hoping that maybe she can get more information. You know, she heard, you know, she got that information out, but she really wants to like be able to catch more moments than that rather than that one opportune moment. But it does mean that her skills are being used for the enemy as well. A little internship before she turns 18.
I love that so much. So that selling out is perfect. Let's go ahead and go to PJ next, because I saw PJ's hand second.
Okay, so I think I understand the system. So what I'm going to say is, being at the swim meet, hearing about the leakage issue, the loyalty test, also being seen at the potential shack with a horde of Hive members. I think he's realized the only way he's already lost his ability to be trusted. The only way he can really reestablish himself as a member of the system to try and dismantle it from the inside is to stop having his individual sense of fashion. I'm selling out my cool to fully become a cog and blend in with the Hive. I will wear whatever uniform they give me. And it is, I mean, I can feel myself losing my own personality every day, but
Full prep.
you know, what's that?
I
Just goes
lose
full
half
prep.
my closet in the process
Tied
of
on
giving
over
it to
shoulders.
him.
Yeah. I don't know how much downtime we'd have, but I'd even go so far as to say I survived my own trip to the burnout retreat, and that really reinforced that I have to wear this uniform or else I'll go back.
I love that. I think that's fantastic. Such a good choice, PJ. Who would like to describe how you sell out next? Adi?
I think at the as the ramifications of all of that, the loyalty test, and Tariq Kamlani's already, I think, shaky reputation with elements of the resistance, as it were, already on shaky grounds. I think, and with seeing what all that the authority is bringing into play, the rage that was a constant thing in Tariq kind of crystallizes. It becomes something much more firm. I think in that moment, a lot of things change inside Tariq Kamlani, but the thing that changes the most is his. It would have been a really nice time to have had that open. So I just say straight up, his motive changed, but unfortunately, timing. But his motive changes from outrage. He no longer is. It's gone beyond anger. He is certain.
Okay. I love that. And our final sellout, Chip Jr.
I had no idea how prolific our high school swim team was in terms of social media. Very quickly, throughout all different platforms, is our clips of my dad saying that he is describing different types of very embarrassing symptoms that were then clipped together to make it sound like I had them. There was a network that I was working with in terms of social media called The Bowl, which is literally just, it was Chip on like his like pundit thing, but like inside of a toilet bowl. They started posting memes both about my father and then also about myself. I went very quickly, like somehow my follower count increased quite a bit, but it was also just by people who wanted to see me crash out. And I think that I gave up my cool. And now I am kind of like a object of ridicule on both sides of the aisle.
I think that's right. As all of this happens, across what we're skipping to give everybody a little bit of a sense of the structure of the game, scene 2, which took place off camera, in between all of this, maybe some of it happened during some of these scenes, was fighting back, right? So that is where we would traditionally introduce the first beat, the twist to the story that's implied in what you all have given already. In the third scene, scene 3, heating up, right? Tension mounts, stakes get higher. I think we're seeing some of that come out of this too. Scene 4 is we won. Looks like everything is going to go just fine for you all. And so what I'd like to get to with that, before we jump into scene 5 and I reveal things about that, is I would really love for all of you to tell me, either together or individually, what it is that makes you feel as though Things are on the upswing. Okay, you each had to sell out a bit, but you're where you need to be right now, and you're feeling like you're going to really be able to make some meaningful change here. You're going to be able to hold somebody accountable. Something in Apex Wellness is going to get better. Maybe you're even going to be able to bring the whole thing down, right?
I'm happy to start up on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I think for Abella, at first when she takes up this job, she's a little disheartened. She's like, maybe grand scheme, I'm going to get to be on the inside, and is very much like nowhere near where any of the action is. And she gets a small break, and she is now, on the floor when they're recording and able to access like the green rooms and stuff like that. And she hasn't quite caught anything yet, but she's like, I am in the place where I need to be, even though she's not realizing they're starting to rely on her a little more heavily for making sure things go out how they wanted to say. But she's in the right place, guys. She's got the ability to get a good recording in any moment now.
Yeah, there's no chance they're going to change her before she can change them, right?
Of course.
What about the rest of y'all?
So checking in, is this another opportunity or focus on kind of claiming a sellout, or just a narrative?
No, this is just a narrative beat where you're talking about, because normally we would have played a scene where that is focused on you all on an upswing, basically, right? Things are going better for you. So in order to set up, and that's scene 4. So in order to set up scene 5, I just need to know what you all think about the situation you're in based on what you already sold out that you just described, that has you well positioned to actually make a change, something that would make you feel like the sacrifice you made in that sellout is worth it.
Okay, so I had to give up my cool in order to survive the burnout retreat that I was brought into. Coming back out of that, my kind of individualism, the Captain America pin with the anarchy star on it, all that's been stripped, and I'm down to that lovely little uniform. But I think the things are turning around moment, knowing that I'm a mouthpiece, I'm sure there was times during the moment where I just asked some questions, nothing serious, maybe plant some ideas, but nothing loud so it wasn't overheard. And one day when going through the halls of school or potentially going on a bit of a job hunt, I've run into a handful of the other people I met at the burnout retreat. And there's a moment of recognition, maybe even a bit of hope, as they're like, I had a lot to think about. Thank you. And I think for Simon Jack, that's like, oh wait, maybe the message is spreading. Maybe we can finally all rise up together. But, one person saying I agree doesn't always mean enough momentum to overthrow the forces that'll put you back down.
100%. That sounds perfect to me. What about our other 3? And it can be something slight. It doesn't have to be a whole scene. It could just be a thought, something that is giving you hope in this, in that you didn't sell out for nothing.
I think it's like almost like a little bit of like hopeful pride in she sees like Simon come back from his retreat, sees Abella get someplace that is like beneficial for Abella, and also maybe Abella in a weird way is a bit happier doing what she's doing. And I think it's the like, oh, I did the right thing. Everything's gonna work out all right now. Like, I made the right choice. It was okay to be reckless. Like, I think it solidifies that it's good to do that thing, but it's also that kind of innocent hopefulness of like, everyone's fine. Everyone's like doing okay right now. In her weird little thought process.
I love that. What about our last 2?
I have an idea. It's kind of big. I think my dad brought me on.
Yeah, I fully buy that. I mean, the Nepo babiness is strong, and truthfully, there's no such thing as bad attention, right? So everything that you described before would probably be the perfect time for your dad to bring you on as a voice of the future of Apex Wellness and of the Heritage Mandate writ large.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of like he brings me on as like almost like an interview of like, so you were there when these things were talking about the leakage, and it was like, I'm like, yes, father, I was. And it literally is just like that back and forth for a little while, and that is somehow able to like algorithmically like scratch an itch in some robot's brain somewhere where they're like, we need more of these two together. And they end up having a segment on his show called What's the Dip with Chip Family Size, where we both talk about things together.
I love that. So what's the
And
dip with
I
Chip's family? Good.
Yeah. So it's us describing basically like having the exact same opinion, but every time I talk about his opinion, I go, as a young person. And then I say exactly what he said. And I use that to like get in the room of like how the information is being manipulated and spread, and I'm actually using that to be like to funneling that to like other people, so that way they're able to have like more accurate information and like make sure that
I
things are
love
getting
that.
out properly from the top, from not the top but as close to the top as possible.
I love that. Maybe some of that gets funneled out to your exploit, the Deep Root Collective, that might be branching out from just the heirloom seed business into something a little bit broader, because we live in an interconnected world. Adi, I don't think we've heard from you yet.
I think when Tariq realizes that there is hope, question mark,
Mhm.
it strikes him as, it makes him feel a little empty, because he is, I think, like, on a kind of broken balcony somewhere, and it's late in the evening, and he's watching Dip with Chip on a little TV, and he remembers this certain conviction that he had. But what stops him and makes him feel little hope?
Mm.
He takes in a breath, and he does not immediately let it go, because he holds it, because the air has gotten a little better, and he is just, fuck. But
And there's a go ahead.
it has never smelt sweeter than it does now.
And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why the air has never smelled sweeter. It might be because what you all are doing is making a difference and working inside of the system to chip away at its inadequacies, understanding that the people involved are flawed people functioning under the same oppressive system that you all function under, is a mature way to go about it. It's a realistic understanding of the world. You got to be in the game to make a change in the game, right? If you're not even playing, what are you doing? Maybe that's what growing up is, right? Maybe that's what we all should be doing. I'm going to explain some of the other authority figures that I've prepped for this game, because we've skipped over some scenes wherein you would have met some of them. The vibe checkers you met before are more appropriately known as Apex bulldozer drones. They're more like junior vibe checkers. They're used for tasks like that, other kinds of semi-automated check-ins, interactions with youths often, right, which are not always given the same priority as adults. But you all are on the cusp of adulthood, right? I mean, some of you have very adult jobs now, a lot of adult spaces you're moving through. So you have engaged with senior vibe checkers. Think HR, basically, right? Nothing wrong with that. Aggressive, terrifying, cheerful life coaches and peer mentors. So some of them are around your age, who use, from what you've been told, but have not had to experience yet, gentle physical restraint to isolate downers. So that's fun. You've got nutrition monitors, especially in the wake of the scandal that happened and didn't really completely happen around the leaked footage or recording. Since then, it's been really important to pay attention to everybody's intake of their joy, right, TM? And so heavily armed wellness technicians ensure every citizen consumes their mandatory brain fogging joy supplements. You've also come to know a little bit better the smiling neighbors, brainwashed community informants who spy on and report to the report the Yos to ensure that they aren't punished for the Yo's actions. So think of it as the vibe checkers, both Apex Bulldozer drones and Senior Vibe Checker Edition, having deputized Neighborhood Watch. These smiling neighbors are looking out for your best interest. Finally, one of you in particular has gotten to know retreat wardens, though two of you, at the very least, have been very directly impacted by them. Smiling, tranquilizing guards who transport toxic citizens to the radioactive forced labor camps. Oh, did I not mention that they're radioactive?
It was
Sorry.
implied.
Missed that memo. Yeah. Bloody boy,
so I say all of that in the wake of your sense of hope and success, that you are being realistic, mature young adults who are engaging with the world on its terms so that you can really make a difference. To lead us into scene 5, which I want everyone here and at home to know this is not a bit, this is me, rules as written, telling you, is titled by the author of this game as We're Fucked. Welcome to We're Fucked. In We're Fucked, the click suffers an awful setback, and the second beat is introduced. So here I am going to ask, I'm going to go back to our set of friendship questions from earlier, and I am going to pick one for the table because that's what we're going to have time for here. So,
yay.
I'm going to alter this a little bit. It was going to say when my parents were threatened with community consequences, what did you do to help take the heat off my family? What I'm going to say, especially since something did happen to one of the parents already, when I was threatened with community consequences, all of you in different ways risked somewhere along these lines. We don't have to get into exactly what happened. Some kind of community consequence. The group stood together. The group helped you out. So in general, how did you all as a clique help each other weather the storm so that none of you have ended up in a worse place yet?
I have an answer, and I don't think I like it, but it's the only immediate thing I can do. And this sucks, but considering I'm dressed in the uniform and I've survived the retreats and I know people on the inside, I throw innocent people under the bus. To get you guys out of the heat, I deflect them to someone who did nothing wrong, but just enough observation upon them to make the system already suspect and go after them. And I hate it. It's the only thing I can do with my power to keep you guys safe and keep the fight going.
And I will tell you that it feels like that to your character. I will say on top of that, your character doesn't know if they've done anything wrong or not, right? As far as you know, they haven't done anything wrong according to Apex Wellness. But there's a little voice in the back of your head that says, but maybe they did. Maybe they did. Aha.
Can I propose something before we enter this next chapter?
Yeah.
I think Tariq Kamlani is at the lowest that he's been for a while. He is barely doing the motions of whatever task he's assigned. He is barely attentive in school. And I think if it were not for some of your actions of his friends that is keeping him from being pulled into a burnout school, and the thing is, like in past association, he's always been the person on the front lines, but right now there are no front lines. It is such an invasive, insidious kind of fight that this person who is born out of time, like he would have been great, like, during a time when actually fighting made a difference at an individual level. But this is not something. So this is a person who is very quickly losing it, and, like, where he might have had a smile on his face, he has now twitching kind of, and his hands.
I think part of what might be getting to him is that he knows what Simon's doing. You all do, right? Simon's not doing that alone. It's even if Simon's not talking about it, I'm not taking any agency away from you, PJ, but like even if Simon tries to keep it to himself, you see the pattern. You know these close calls are happening. You know other people are disappearing, right? I'm going to take a quick break from that, though, to say thank you, chat, because we have met and exceeded our goal. $115. Let's go. 15 from Anonymous and 15 from Evie Altered Echo Archives. Thank you, Evie Altered Echo Archives. We have 2 public reacts. As a reminder, that means a resistance token is either given to the youthful offender clique over here, the resistance, or to me, the authority, on behalf of the heritage mandate. And the great news here is we got one of each. So congratulations to everybody here. You all have a resistance token that is able to be used to re-roll any roll you want as a group. Both dice. I have a resistance token to make you re-roll any roll I want you to re-roll. We got 2 scenes left if we make it in time. So keep that in mind, because we've only got one of each. We've still got our other stuff. Everybody, please remember, if you have that half re-roll still, that you've got that, and be ready to try to convince me. I will say, since you are in We're Fucked, it's going to be hard to convince me to give you the thing. And if I don't give you the algorithm, I'm going to use it against you when you ask. So, with that having been said, I go first because I'm the authority. And I don't have to roll for anything to win because I'm the authority. So I am going to, without placing a token on any number yet, I am going to explain to you how things are worse for you. And the way that things are worse for you in this case is going to be wrapped up with the second beat that I'm introducing. That sweet smelling air. Have you ever smelled it before? I suppose it depends on how old you are. See, there are these quarterly check-ins that Apex Wellness does that you're quite used to. There are yearly ones that have much more fanfare. There was even one when you were a kid that happened every decade. They have them every 25 and 50 years, but this isn't that either. This is a centennial. This is a centennial bonanza check-in, wherein the most apt way to show your duty, your patriotic fervor for not only the heritage mandate writ large, but specifically for Apex Wellness, your heart and your home, is for you to comply fully. Because what could be better than serving your community by living its values? So you are facing, friends, a check-in with all of you in the same space alongside everyone else your age, under the scrutiny of Truth TV's cameras, every other lesser network's cameras, all owned by Consolidated Broadcasting. The eyes of all of Apex Wellness, the eyes, indeed, of all of the heritage mandate are on you. This is your coming out party, everybody. And you've got senior vibe checkers, nutrition monitors, smiling neighbors, and even waiting in the wings in places where you can see them, but nobody else can, some retreat wardens watching. What would you like to do? Who steps up?
I have an idea.
Go for it. I saw
Go for it.
Aurora first.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, especially after that last broadcast and being a little bit closer to the news sources, and because of our connections to Deep Roots,
Mhm.
Abella has been trying to get information to the Deep Roots and letting them know, like, hey, like something big is going to be coming up. She's not really sure if it's something where we need to like have something that can fake the happy pills or something that can kind of protect us from the happy pills. I'm open if anyone wants to pitch one or the other, but basically a plant, some type of food has been found to like kind of I don't know, maybe it's because the sweet smelling, so I keep thinking bananas, but maybe like having extra bananas that you eat beforehand, that extra potassium or something like that, something that like just would register, like if they did a blood check or a breath check outside of just like what you could fake, somehow puts off that happy euphoria of everything's okay. And
I
I'm
love
open.
that.
I'm open for the like actual how
I-
we wanted to make it, but that's
I
kind of
think I
something.
think the general vibe worked for the check. Luckily, I don't have any numbers on the board. You're just going to succeed at this, and it's really good thing you're thinking about that because the nutrition monitors are checking that. Why don't you let us know what you rolled on your 2d6?
Yeah. I got a 9.
Cool. Here's a terrible thing. Thank you, chat. I am going to use one of those 5 instances of the algorithm, and I am going to move your token to a 2.
Can I combat that in any capacity? Nope. That's all right. I figured I'd put it
You
out there.
could ask me, you could try to convince me to let you burn a second one to undo that. But if you fail to convince me, I'm just going to use something else again. Or you could let it ride and accept the inevitable power of the authority over you.
Nah. We're gonna try and do something else. What are the options? I can't do a reroll because it's something I can do, like the interruption.
You still have your so you still have your half reroll, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So what I will let you do in this instance is I've moved you to a 2. You were on a
Yes.
9.
Yeah.
If you do that half reroll and you don't try to get me to let you use one of the token thingies, right? Like one of the same things I did, the algorithm.
Yeah.
Then you can take the new roll, land there, and as long as it's not a 7, I'll let you do it without interrupting again. If it is a 7, I'll take it away from you again.
Sounds
If you
great.
try to convince me, it's going to be really hard. And if you don't convince me, I will punish the next person. If you want to spend
Doing
your $15, I'm trying to think of the name here. I don't want to say it wrong. If you want to spend your $15 resistance token already
No,
and
hold off
automatically
on that one.
succeed here, I'll let you just do it and you can keep the 9.
No, I'll hold off on that one. I'll go ahead and do the one reroll. And then am I pitching to you there was some kind of interference, some way that we pushed through that interference?
Yes. So what'll happen is you re-roll the number as long as it's not a 7. If you take it, I'm just going to let it land and stay. And then you will describe how you pushed through the interference at the level of the fiction. That'll be up to you.
All right, let's do that. I'm keeping the 4. I'm re-rolling the 5. I got a 1, so it's going to give me a 5, which is I feel like the better number.
Then a 2, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So how we push through the interference? You were saying that the nutrition checkers were kind of like zooming in on that. I think Abella was able to forge up some documents ahead of time, that like some waivers that she made extra copies for not only our group, but maybe like a few extra kids just to kind of scatter it so they wouldn't necessarily hyper in on us, but just some waivers that was saying like, hey, you know, these students are big parts of the community. They're really important. Even if their numbers don't quite match up correctly, nutrition levels wise, it's probably because they're just doing a lot of extra work for the community right now. And because Abella and Chris are kind of working with Concast, we're again kind of leaning truth to the fiction.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's perfect. I fully buy it. Go ahead and put your 5 on the tracker. If it's not there, it's there already. Hell yeah. That is your turn. Whose turn is it again? Mine. Guess what happens on my second turn in this round? I automatically take the 7 because it was not rolled yet. And I also get to claim 6 or 8. So I think I'm going to claim 8. I'm going to take 7. I'm going to take 8. I hope that this thing lets me use it here. Yeah, look, it let me move it. All right, let's hit the second one.
Do you take immediate millennial damage for having said 6, 7?
Yeah, that's. I was gonna say I'm not even.
Yeah,
mad
I
with
think you
58.
have to. I think
not
you have
mad.
to like give us a win on that one.
The authority gets hurt. You know what? I will give you a win on that if anybody gets in the donations and buys any more donation. Any donation at all. We're at $115.
I mean,
If I get one more donation of any amount, I will give you the number 6 on the board. I'm not even going to make you roll for it. Somebody's going to be able to put on your side. We'll get the number 6 on the board.
Come on,
Which
chat,
is one of the most
donate to the
valuable
6,
numbers.
7. You know you want to.
Chat, we've done the hustle.
Donate
We
for
just
the
need to
6, 7.
accomplish it. Let's go. Come on.
Yes.
Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Chat, it's on you.
Chat,
Only
don't let the
you can
authority
fight
take
the
your
authority.
6, 7. I know you're going to
This is
hate it,
the
but once it's
weirdest
gone, you can never get it
telethon
back.
I've ever been a part of.
Like,
Fine.
every millennial poor in me screams
Oh,
in sellout,
sick.
but like,
Yes.
yes, let's. I mean, that's the theme.
It's
But
like
yeah,
a
okay.
Pavlovian cringe. Every time I hear 6, I'm like, no. I'm like
That's
69. I'm like, that's better.
In the chat, I'm seeing the 6, 7 advantage. I only have 6 cents, maybe 7. Thank you. It's Neon Graffiti.
Neon.
This is
God.
hey Neon. I'm Gen Z. I'm immune to the cringe.
Yes.
Fair and
Yeah.
valid.
Then you
It's
are
okay.
truly
Fair.
free. You're truly
Yes.
free
Yeah.
if you're immune
I
to
was
the
gonna say a
yeah.
secret from an elder millennial. We too are free of the cringe. That is the true authority against which we all fight.
Free of the cringe.
Yes. All right. So while that gets settled, I get to tell you how I just made your lives worse with the numbers that I just took on the board. And the way that I'm doing that is, the nutrition monitors are able to give you all a pass on that. Some of your numbers are passable without it. Some aren't. You don't know which is which. That's not really the bad part yet. The bad part is that each of you are going to have to interact directly, not just with senior vibe checkers, but also with smiling neighbors as a part of the ceremony in front of everyone. So you have been selected as exemplary youths in Apex Wellness. Congratulations. All of you are going to go through a private check with the senior vibe checkers first, and then you're going to do a presentation that you are not properly prepared for, something that you have a general sense of what's going to be discussed, but they're not allowed to tell you the questions ahead of time because that wouldn't be sportsmanlike. With the smiling neighbors up on stage, all of whom are wearing masks and using voice changers because no one's allowed to know who a smiling neighbor is, because it could be any of us. It could be all of us. And so you don't know if you're going to be speaking with somebody who knows you, and you don't know if you're going to be speaking with somebody who knows you're lying if you do. Which one would you like to do first?
Like, which one of us wants to go, or which one of these people?
No. Do you want to do the private talk with the senior vibe checkers or the public talk with the smiling neighbors first? Because if you get to do both, and I don't know if you're going to get to do both, but if you get to do both, the senior vibe checkers can talk to you before or after your time on stage, and they'll have different things to talk to you about. This above table is me being nice while you're fucked to decide which thing you want to be fucked by first, because you might be able to get out and win. before the other ones get to you.
Yeah. My thoughts, the individual. Anybody else?
Individual.
I was gonna say the public, but that
Ooh.
only benefits me.
Well, I was.
I mean,
Fair enough.
Not that. Hey, like I did my move. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping that if I get to speak to the public, I can at least subconsciously try to like have some sort of
nice.
effect on them. So like even if I lose the one-on-ones, I'm at least swaying the crowd a little bit.
I'm hearing
I-
public.
Patty, what do you think?
I think my answer depends on what Abella's response to it would have been a query, like, it would have been an email from an old number that he'd stopped using, and you would have got it asking, me still hope, it would have been a voice message, me still hope you want to still tell truth. If you can, write me a virus program that will allow me to go live on a drone that I'm going to be building.
Hell yeah.
Would I have gotten an affirmative from that?
Oh yes, 100%. She's so on board with that.
Public.
So I will say,
Public.
watching the time, I'm going to mix scenes 6 and 7.
Mhm.
We're going to go with the public. We'll see if we get to the private, or if it's even necessary, because what I am bringing in from scene 6, which I want to give you the name for scene 6 here, who wins? Now that the Yos are thoroughly fucked, this is the scene where they recover from their setback and stick it directly to the authority. Maybe. So we find out who wins the episode, and the question is answered. So I'm going to present to you, on my end, Apex Wellness's final objective here is to root out resistance and propagandize so effectively and thoroughly that any remaining resistance is deflated. I would like to know from you all, before we move into who's going to stand up, what is your collective ultimate hope from this moment?
I mean, I'll be the first to put in mine, and we can snowball on that, make a big old hope sandwich out of it.
Mhm.
I think Simon Jack's entire thing is that he was inspired by greater symbols than him. And that's what gave him the hope to think that today sucks, but tomorrow could be so great because I've seen it on paper. I think Simon Jack's, I think his hope is that I'm not going to carry the torch across the finish line, but I know I'll get to pass it off to faster, stronger runners. This isn't my like generational thing to fix, but I can set up the next one to really win it.
I love that. I think that's fucking awesome. And honestly, very much above table. I hope you win. What else?
That goes along with my own, which is very much, getting the truth out there as much as possible. I think that feeds perfectly into it.
I love that.
I think once I would have gotten this, this virus, which would essentially allow me to control over the coverage, what is live cannot be shut down from if you don't have this thing, right? Once I think I would have had that, I would have Tariq would have definitely reached out to Simon Jack, and if you need to make a point, and if it needs to be felt, brethren, I am willing to be your hammer, because there always be time for non-violent protest. This not be one of those times.
I love that. What about from our remaining two?
I think if it's anything that we leave the public with some opposite variation of hope from what's being offered by the authority. I'm right there with PJ on that one.
Love it. Oh, right. Austin?
First thing I was gonna say is I want my dad to poop his pants live on TV.
Agreed. Full in on
Agreed.
poopy pants.
Agreed.
Okay. I want to plant a seed. I think what we've been talking about from the very beginning is the beauty of nature is that it's able to come from a small thing and turn to something really big and really beautiful. I think regardless of what happens today, I think that we have already been planting these throughout our entire journey.
Mhm.
I think this is just going to be the biggest possibility that we have for the biggest one. And I think that the way that I think it makes the most sense is if we almost talk about how the simulated environment that we have isn't enough.
I love that. So this is a very important question because I want to remind the table and the audience at home, thank you, chat, that you can only go one at a time, and then I go again.
Mhm.
I'm going to be very, very frank about this above table. I'm obviously in real life fully on your side, not just because we're playing a game together, but because fuck this place. I really want you to win. You don't want me to go very many times because I, like in a real oppressive environment, have no choice but to hit you hard and fast in ways that will hurt and make it harder for you to win for the rest of this. So strategically, thinking about the order in which you might want to do things, also thinking about the fact that you don't know what I'm going to do next or how that could throw a wrench in what you're planning to do down the line. Who steps up?
Can I pitch a small hustle to start that off with? Given that there has been a recorded canon collaboration between Abella, Simon, and Tariq, can we all three make our actions as one turn because we are working together? And so that, like, that all three of ours is taken in one turn, essentially to give you less turns.
I will do that. I'll do this. I will let you do that if you use your resistance token to potentially fully re-roll this if you don't get what you want.
Okay.
I will not put any other restriction on it, but I will take 3 numbers. I will take the 3 worst numbers left available, but I will take 3 numbers as though I took 3 turns right after this. The three of you can build it together, the narrative. One of you will roll the 2d6. A different one of you will roll the re-roll, and I'm going to be really generous here. I will let one, but not both, because I believe 2 of you still have your half re-roll. I will let one, but not both of the people with a half re-roll even use a half re-roll. But that's it. And I will take 3 numbers, and what I will describe will be tantamount to 3 turns happening all at once.
Okay.
What do you
If you
think?
accept, yeah.
I think it's
What
the
do you
best
think?
deal we're going to get.
Can I
Yeah,
actually
but-
make the build between Chris and Tariq and Simon Jack? Just because I already did get to do my 1 turn, and that way we've got the 2 public-facing people who've got things that they want to say
100%.
and do. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you all want, that's fine. If all 5 of you want to do it together, you can do that. It's going to be me taking 5 numbers afterward.
No
And
stress.
it's going to be me describing something
Wait,
worth 5 turns.
Yeah.
How many? So what are these? What is the split right now? How many does this country beggar have?
So I've
Well-
got 1 token on 7. Authority has 1 on
Okay.
5 and 8. So you guys want to land on a 7 with your 3
Other-
rolls to like win this.
Other way,
Okay.
actually. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
took the
Okay.
5. I'm on 7 and 8.
Oh,
So
sorry,
you
I
want
missed it
anything-
around. Boop boop. Thank you. You want
No
5.
worries, I got you. You want anything that isn't a 7 or an 8 right now. Which this is a good time to take that risk, honestly, because there's
Yeah.
less on the board. It is going to be way worse after this turn because I'm going to take 3 more things on the board. Right?
Yeah.
Also, hey, I'm not going to use a token to make you change your number here. So I will make that pledge. I'm not going to use one of my doodads here to move your number. Wherever you land will be where you land. Okay.
Yo, I think this is the best get we're gonna have.
100%.
I think we need to this
100%.
final stand, last stand this and throw dice.
100%. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh.
You lead us off. Lead us off.
Okay, so I think there's gonna be a moment where I'm gonna go to the front and I'm gonna give the most heart-wrenching and authentic speech I can. If we have time, I'll actually give that speech. But I think he's gonna actually, with your permission, I'll try to make it fast. I think this is because I think he's shaking. Like, he knows this is probably the last chance he's going to get to speak again. So he's going to put his heart into it. Violence is a funny thing, right? It's scary. Violence hurts. And no one wants to be scared and no one wants to feel hurt. Everyone just wants to feel happy and heard. And violence is also a language. It's the language that those who speak that cannot be heard or won't be. We get to a point in our lives where it becomes an all-consuming game of who can be heard the loudest. And unfortunately, there will be people who will control that voice. But smile. Smile not because the pills tell you to. Smile because you're here. And smile. Not because things are free, but because they are so goddamn expensive. But we can pay it. And we can pay it together. And smile, not because you've taken the pills, but because for 5 minutes before you swallow them, you feel something authentic. And just think before you take that next pill what that feels like to be you and not the violence that they put you through. And then rise up. Rise up, you motherfuckers, because this is the moment that they hear you. This is the moment where we pay the price. And I've been doing it my entire life. And I know how fucking expensive it is to bury people you don't know, but to see them in the dirt. I know because I've been there. I've been to retreats. I've seen it. And it is a price that I will pay again and again and again. And I feel and I smile because I know I'm not the only one willing to pay that price. If you hear this, if you think about it for just 5 minutes and you see the fake sky and the phony smiles and the constant secret police making sure that you are only feeling what they want you to feel, then smile, motherfucker, because today is Revolution Day. Let them hear you, if not one more day, then for the rest of your fucking lives. I'm paying the price right now. And all I ask is that you smile with me.
And Tariq, as soon as that concludes, is just going to yell out, "Smile, motherfuckers!" and will pull out and he is going to just compliment that with just a quick release thing, and his backpack explodes and he becomes a full-on shield that turtles up, and a full-on fucking steel pipe appears, and then he's gonna just blitz and appear between the fucking nutrition motherfuckers and just go whack whack whack. As a drone spits out from his backpack that is recording this and transmitting this to every goddamn screen in the entire all of our existence, that cannot be stopped.
I love that. And I believe we have a third component to this.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm just hiding on. The drone was already in the air when Simon was doing all of that. So 100%.
Very discreetly, I pull out my phone and I hit a button on it,
Mhm.
and suddenly all the screens around are depicting actual real sky, real pieces of soil, historical records, farming instructions, and on top of all of them is just superimposed the words "smile, motherfucker."
Okay, so I think given the order that this went in, PJ, would you like to roll our first 2d6?
So glad you asked, because I did shortly after my speech. I got 2 6s. That's a 12. The safest roll I think I could have made, baby.
Whew.
Okay, so you rolled a 12. I'm going to look at something 1 second here. I promised I wasn't going to move your number, and I'm not going to do that.
You're gonna do something so much worse.
No. I'm going to give you the ability, because we made our goal here, and I promised something awesome. I'm going to give you the ability to use the algorithm. So one of these that are paid for over here, I'm handing to you, and I'm not going to move your number, but you can move your number. And there are 2 ways to end a scene. The first way is to land on one of my numbers and to sell out. The second way is to land on one of your numbers, and you don't have to sell out. And you have a 5 on the board. Would you like to use the algorithm?
So in theory, the goal would be to potentially move the 5 to a stronger.
Well, you can move the 12 to the 5 and win.
I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down. With the gift of the algorithm, Simon is going to basically shout, "My name is Simon Jack Collins, and I have not taken my medicine once." And I'm going to move that over to the 5 and just say, "And look how I smile." And it's just a big old beaming bright face.
And I'm going to say this is crazy because the dice are telling a tale. I rolled a dice. I rolled a 5.
I did too.
Okay.
Oh, what the fuck?
With
Let's
both of you,
go.
with both of
Oh
you
my
also
God.
having rolled a 5, all of you having come together to make this possible, from the first action and then the first selling out, through all the latter selling outs, through all the other actions, to this culminating moment, you all are able to break through the medically induced haze that has plagued Apex Wellness and gotten people to wake up a little bit and see that other things are possible. I'm not saying this is a panacea. I'm not saying that there aren't ways for the authority to spin this. I'm not saying all of you are going to be okay right away or long term. But I am saying that what you did today fucking mattered. And that is where we're going to leave it. Thank you, everyone, for a wonderful game of misspent youth. Could not imagine a better way to spend our youth, and could not imagine better people to spend it with. I am going to give it first over here to PJ.
I'm sweaty. I'm crying. I'm leaking. I'm leakage. Anyway. Hello, everyone. My name is PJ McGaw, and you can find me all over the internet at PJ McGaw. If you see the bearded face, you're in the right place. You can also find me over at Critic Chronicles on Friday for Shadow over Baldur's Gate, the successor to Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm going to make this announcement now. Kujo, if you're mad at me, I'm so sorry. And starting Mondays, about the end of May, I will be GMing a sponsored Paizo stream with support of Paizo, Pathfinder 2e, and WizKids. So if you want to see some cool Pathfinder content, come check me out. Until then, all of my TTRPG writing, producing, and more you can find on my socials. Thank you, everyone, for having me. And remember, sometimes the best battle cry for resistance is just smile, motherfucker.
Love that. Pop it to the next person.
Absolutely. Let's pop it over to Hans.
Hi, I'm Hans. You can find me across all social media at HansKate. Every Tuesday, you can find me over on the Tales Guild for Tales of Aegis. You can also find a whole bunch of things right now out for Crit Awards, which is open through the end of the month for initial submissions. And we have 3 community nominated categories this year, including all related to like charity and things. You should go like nominate some of your favorite streams, groups, and all those good things so they can get a nice little shout out. Beyond that, I guess just keep an eye on my socials. I pop into a lot of one-shots regularly, just everywhere. And I only post about those on my socials. So that's me. I will pop it down to I'm just gonna say Chris, and I'm like, this is not Austin.
Thank you. I was worried for a second you didn't know my name, and that's fine.
I just had to think it through. It's good.
Hey, it's fine. For 2 weeks after I met Danny, I called him Hoots. Hi everybody, I am Austin the Diabetic DM. I am not wearing a diaper and I've never experienced leakage. You can catch me over at Stories Told Again, an award nominated but not on Crit Awards yet podcast that is POC, disabled, and LGBT led. In that story, if you like anything that we did here, you will love our show. We are very much interested in looking at different ways in which systems are able to be resisted, especially ones that have existed for a very long time. One of our least favorite things to say is, well, this is how it's always been, and we like to fight against that as much as possible. A couple other shows I'm going to be on pretty soon. I am recording, I think, this week for What Happened in Malachite Waste. Super excited. And I'm also have 2 other shows that are coming out pretty soon. One of them, I'm going to be playing Silas Redder, a genie warlock, and just a sad little boy in the show Out of Time, coming out of Professional Questers, and Alex Rivers, who is a full-on baby of a vampire on Thy Tarnished Shadows, which I'm super excited about. Outside of that, you can also find my show. We're doing 2 live shows at Gen Con. Super excited. One live show of Stories Told Again itself, and the other one is DM Deathmatch. We're getting a bunch of DMs from a bunch of different APs coming together, making some of their favorite NPCs from their shows at level 10 and beating the snot out of each other for charity. I look forward to seeing all of you. Joy is an active resistance, but so is authenticity. I would like to carry this over to Adi.
Hello, people of the internet. I am Adi MK, fab, he, him pronouns. So I will just say I will neither confirm nor deny any kind of leakage. Just saying. Just saying. You can find me at Adi MK on Blue Sky and on YouTube. You can also find me at Manyface Plays here. Manyface Plays is something I started because I wanted to tell tales with people who I resonated with, who would share the same immersion in tale that I have gotten used to and expect from people that I vibe with. I'm sorry, that extends to all of you now, by the way. You don't really, you do have a choice in the matter? Sure, yes, we'll talk about it. I'm going to be a part of a lot of different things soon. Panzer Stables is going to have Panzer's Pride soon, which is going to be donating to the Amazing Trevor Project. So look that out soon, and there are going to be some fantastic games on that channel. Continue looking out for a few games on Manyface Plays, run again by this fantastic person here. But I think that's it for me. Yeah. I think, is that it? Have you done everybody? No, shit.
Aurora.
There we go. Aurora Lore, the fantastic, the magnificent, the inimitable.
Thanks. I'm gonna do a very silly little thing, which is just a shout out to all the people who've given birth, because you have experienced leakage. And if you
Mom represent.
yeah, and if you liked, I will say that 3/4 of my character was created by my 3-year-old, so I had a lot of fun getting to bring
Aw.
her creation to life, named down to
Awesome.
characteristics and everything. It was really cute. Anywho.
That's amazing.
Aurora_lore here on Twitch. I do work buddy streams primarily for creators and writers, because it is my way of getting to give back to other people that I get to guest star on their channels. So if you ever need somebody to help you get shit done, come hang out with me. I guest star on a couple of random little streams here and there. Pangs and Fangs with Jenna Daggers, where all the NPCs are being played by players. So it's an insane, massive, super, super fun cast. And then I've got, I think Danny's also running for charity TTRPGs. This May 20th, we have a 24-hour fundraiser, I think also for Doctors Without Borders Palestinian Aid.
Yeah.
So tune into that. I know I'm going to be running You Must Leave This Party Engaged, a Good Society one-shot of chaos. It's so much fun. Still looking for players, so shoot your queries my way. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and shout it back over to Danny. Take us away. Oh, one other thing.
Yes.
Y'all fought authority today for all your donations, so thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for the incredible donations, for letting us break our goal that was going to be for both of our Misspent Youth games in just this one. So we're going to set more goals further down the line, more fun stuff. Anything that you paid for tonight that hasn't been used yet, we're going to spill over to the next table, because we believe in mutual aid in this house. So thank you for that. It will be well spent that way. And also, more importantly, it is well spent on a great cause for what Doctors Without Borders can use the money for directly. I am Danny, he, him, Danny R. Mendoza all over the internet. You put in Danny R. Mendoza into any search engine anywhere, and you can find me. Blue Sky is a good place to follow me for TTRPG stuff. We've gone a little bit over. I'm not going to get into my whole spiel. I'm on the staff at Streaming Rainbow. I work a lot with Pantsless Tables, which I'm going to be doing Pride for there also. Streaming Rainbow, ton of Pride stuff. Nerds with Dice, possibly some Pride stuff there. Work with them a lot. Work also with Pocket Dragon Pub a lot. Probably going to do some Pride stuff there too. So check out all of that. I'm on a bunch of other channels, a bunch of other shows, cast, and on this side of the table as well, facilitating, guiding. So check out any of that you want. You can see it all on my socials. I'm going to shout two things. One is Rocket Club, a multi-stage anthology, which is a collaboration among the 4 channels that I just mentioned, and Evil Hat and M. Hubbard, the creator of that game. It is in open play testing through the end of May 2026. It is a wonderful, beautiful game, shares a lot of spirit with this game. Adi is in a great rendition of it over at Pantsless Tables with me. So if you want to check that out, highly recommend it. You can get a free copy, free 172-page PDF plus supporting materials, going to evilhat.com/rocket-club. That's evilhat.com/rocket-club. Second thing is, we are raising a lot more money this month, pre-Pride, although we're raising a little bit in a show that Adi and I are both in at Pantsless Tables, of The Walking Dead, for the Trevor Project already. We're also raising more money here with Just the Human. Hi, Just the Human. Thank you for having us here. And Charity TRPGs for Doctors Without Borders, with a focus on Palestinian aid. So we're doing a second session of our Rebel Scum game that Adi's also in. Tomorrow night, that's as of the day that we're filming this, that is going to be nighttime, my time. So that is 8 p.m. Eastern on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. That was on purpose. First day was May Day. That was also on purpose. Of Rebel Scum 2E. We're also playing a second session with a partially different, partially same, so you'll see some familiar faces here, table of Misspent Youth in the shared world, but with a different focus and possibly at a different time, maybe even before this event occurred. That's going to be on May 12th, and that is going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. We are, as a part of the thing that Aurora mentioned that Jess is running, that's a 24-hour streamathon, going to be running Pasión de las Pasiones. That is, since it's 24 hours, it starts on the 20th. We are at 2:30 p.m. on the 21st, and we're doing a Mass Effect edition using a playset that I'm writing originally for that. So please check that out if you'd like. The one other Doctors Without Borders thing that I have on my docket for May is May 16th, a level 20 D&D game with a bunch of folks who all played the same character, myself included, on a show over at Streaming Rainbow, plus the GM there. Except the GM that we had there is going to be a player, and I'm going to be GMing. I told them, go ham in terms of building broken characters. I do not care. I get to bring out all my toys too, and we're going to be doing it with the deck of many things. So tune in, get in on the shenanigans. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being a part of the resistance in real life by giving money to Doctors Without Borders. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.